What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Unwind with Raya. I got my tea today. It's mint tea, and it is absolutely delicious. Um, mm, mm. Tastes like peppermint and love with the twinge of delight. Well, that's weird. Can you see? Hold. Let's see if I'm getting some error warnings on my side, so maybe it's not actually. Maybe you can't. Can you hear me? Interesting. Very interesting. Hopefully, when this comes up, you can hear me. But we'll see. But yeah, how's everybody's day? Today's Saturday for me, but whenever you're listening to this, I don't know what it'll be. I wonder why it's not. I wonder why it is not loading up on here. Interesting. I wonder what's going on. Can you? All right. Maybe you can hear me. Maybe that's a little better. That's so weird. I'm so laggy. I don't know what's happening. Interesting. Let me see if this helps. I'll open the widget. Stream status poor. Ooh. Okay. This is fine. Oh no. Apple, not the time, buddy. Not the time. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna see if this helps. I'm gonna change a few settings on my end, and hopefully I start moving. And you guys, it's just, I think, from what it looks like, it's you can hear my voice, but I'm all choppy and you can't really see my facial expressions, which is like half of my shtick, right? Interesting. Let me try restarting something real quick. All right, guys. So bear with me. We're gonna see if that helped. Hopefully that did something. We'll see. It's looking better. We like to have a few bugs on a few issues just to keep us humble, right? Don't want to get too big of a head. But we're gonna keep an eye on it, and hopefully it starts improving. Um, so I apologize out there for you're getting a glitchy kind of first few minutes, but hopefully it'll improve. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to restart it, and it's not that big of a deal. But anybody who's coming in right now is just gonna get like some laggy stuff. So I apologize. Man, and I'm gonna show off I got a manicure today too, so I want you guys to be able to see what's up. I guess this is prime time for me to just lean into my voice and my dog's bark, and you can just maybe picture the ambiance, picture the house. I got some candles going in the other room, so I got some candles going and my dog's barking and the stream's lagging, but we're here, baby. We're here on a Saturday. I'm sipping my tea, and I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty good about today, even with this. Let me see. Very interesting. Well, this is fine. Everything is fine. I hope everybody out there is having a good Saturday though. Did you do anything fun since I saw you last? Oh, it's improving. It's getting better. It's I can see movement now. Hopefully. Let me check one more time to see if we're on the right path. Okay. It's not the greatest yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Okay. All right. We're gonna roll with this, and it's looking like it's decent. It's coming back decent. So, bear with me. I apologize for some lagginess and some streaming. This is like a weird. I don't know if it's on whose end it is, like on if it's my OBS or my YouTube, but hopefully it bumps up a little bit so it's you can start seeing me fresh faced and as pretty as I like to think I am, but you know what it is. You see my face. But yeah, today I got a manicure for the first time in my entire life. And guess what? Your boy's addicted. It's actually a lot of fun. Okay, if you can see, it probably doesn't look too different. I didn't get any like fancy things or gels or whatever. I don't even know the options, but essentially she the woman who did it like pushed back the cuticles, which I don't know what that means, but she did it. She said she did it, and she clipped them and put some like moisturizer on my hands and cleaned up like the nail beds, and I don't know. I really don't know what she was doing, but it felt good. And she gave me some like this hand lotion stuff, and it started. It was actually a lot of fun. Okay, I think we're in business, y'all. I think we're in business. This looks pretty good. But yeah, and it looks like everything. It looks nice. But let me set the scene for you guys, because it was actually a pretty enjoyable day today. Um, I slept in. It was raining in the morning, so I woke up at like, I don't know, maybe 7 a.m. to like the sound of like loud thunder, and it just like set the mood because I had the fan going and my puppy was snuggled up with me, and I heard the thunder and it woke me up, and I just was like, that where you're like half awake and half asleep. Like I woke up, but like I wasn't ready to wake up fully yet. But just knowing that there's a thunderstorm out there just made me 20 times more cozy. I was just curled up in my blanket, and it was dark. Like it was really, really dark in my room because it was raining out, and it just felt super cozy. And I'm always sad when I wake up and it's not raining. Like, does anybody else do that? I get like real sad when because I like to be awake and like experience and see the rain. Like it's cool that it was happening when I was sleeping, but I want to see it. I want to enjoy it. But then I had some yummy coffee, and I watched just some TV and paid some bills, grown up stuff, because I guess I'm an adult now. But it was cool because I was looking forward to this manicure. I told you guys last week, like I've been looking forward to this for as soon as I decided it, because the place I went to is like right next to my gym, and I pass this nail place like every time I'm there at the gym. I'm just like, this week for some reason I thought something of it. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's try it out. And now I can say I got a manicure, right? But I put the man in manicure, right? All my dad joke fans out there, I feel like you might appreciate that. But no, so I'm excited, and I go, and I don't know what to expect, right? I've never been into a nail salon before. I never even, like, I don't even know what it's about, So I go in, and there's like a whole bunch of people. It's bigger than I thought. Like the rooms open up, and there's like a room in the front. There's like a room here, a room in the back, a room here, and a room in their back. Like you can see 4 different rooms from the entrance. It's like a pretty thin divider in between, and there's like a lot more people than I thought. There's like people waiting, people getting their nails worked on, the employees, it's a solid, at least 30 people in that room, maybe a little less. But anyways, so the guy there's a guy who's like working on a client like to my right, and he's like, hey, have a seat, or what are you here for? And I was like, a manicure. And he's like, oh yeah, sign in and have a seat or whatever. I'm like, okay, bet. So I have my my book. I'm reading Jane Eyre, and I'm like 3/4 of the way done with that one, but it's like 400 pages. And so I just read for a little while, just in my little world, and kind of hearing the sounds of people. But it's chill. It's a lot more chill than I thought. Like it's pretty quiet, but there's like music playing overhead. And pause. We officially have a name for this one right here, right? This guy. Actually, this girl. This plant is now named officially Phoebe. Okay. This is Phoebe. Allow me to reintroduce myself. This is Phoebe, okay? And that's courtesy of Marisol. So thank you, Marisol, for coming up with that name. I feel like it fits perfectly. This is Phoebe. Thank you guys for helping me take care of her. We're gonna keep her flourishing. It's her season, right? It's Phoebe's season to thrive. And really the only Phoebe, no, I know 2 Phoebes. I don't know them, but they're characters from shows. Phoebe from Friends and Phoebe from Magic School Bus. Now, Phoebe from Magic School Bus was a real a-hole, so I think so. I think that's Phoebe I'm thinking of. Or was it Janet? No, Janet was the a-hole. Phoebe, I feel like, was all right, but Also, I feel like Magic School Bus was like the kid version of Captain Planet, but that's a whole other thing. Same characters. This is Phoebe. So Marisol, shout out to you for naming this butte. Um, I'll take good care of her. I think she likes it here. She's thriving. She's thriving. She's getting real green and real floral, real flowery. So yeah, officially Phoebe. So but yeah. So anyways, I'm sitting there reading my book, and the guy's like, hey, come sit up here, sit at this open chair, right? And so I go and sit, and I keep reading, and I'm thinking, okay, cool. Like, I don't care if it's a dude or I don't care who's doing like my nails. It's like it don't matter to me. I've never been picky. Like, it doesn't. I feel like that's like I don't know. Maybe it's a stereotype, or maybe it's a hyper masculinity thing where, like, guys don't want to get massages or things done from other guys. Like, I know that's a thing. I know I have friends who don't, like, they won't get a massage from a guy because it's weird to them. But I don't think anything of it. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, I was waiting for him, and then I hear him like say something to somebody in the back. Like, I don't know. I don't know what it. I couldn't speak the language. Almost sounded like Thai. Like, I don't know the language from Thailand, but that's like the kind of vibe I got. But I could be way off. So don't hold me to it. Don't judge me. But then, yeah, I keep reading, and I'm waiting for him to finish up, and then he finishes up with who he's with, and he rings him up, and then he like sits down with another client, and I'm like, oh well, I guess maybe I'm not going with him, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. I keep reading, and then all of a sudden this like really really pretty woman comes over, right? And like, she sits down, and she's like, she then it like hits me like, oh, she's gonna be doing my nails, right? I'm like, okay, cool. Like, doesn't change a thing. Maybe I blush a little bit more, right? Like, she's cute. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I see what y'all did. Like, I'm not a sucker. I'm not dumb. I know I'm coming in as a younger, guy, right? In the back of my head, maybe it's right or wrong, but I'm like, you want returning clientele, which is like smart for business, right? You want me to come again, right? So why not send a really pretty, like, there's other people free. I'm pretty sure there's other people working there. Like, there's a whole bunch of like motherly figures in there. It's like, y'all could have sent anybody else, but like, I'm not blind. Like, she's cute, right? So I'm like, I see what you did there. I respect it. I'm not going to say the name of the place, but y'all know what you're doing. I get it. I would do it too. I get it. But yeah. So, anyway, she's like real cute, and like at first, like, then I get like a little bit nervous, but like mainly because I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to do. I don't know what the protocol is. I don't know. I've never gotten a manicure before, so it's like I don't know where do my hands go, where like, what is this, like, are we sitting here for the duration? Do we have to like meander to like some back room or something? And I don't know, like when you get a cut and wash on your hair, and you start one place and you end up by a sink somewhere I don't know where this leads. I don't know what journey I just decided to embark on. I'm much more of a stationary kind of person. I like to set up shop. I like to like pinch a tent, or like build a cabin. I don't want to like have to relocate halfway through. But so I don't know the dynamics of this. I'm just in it, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. I wanted this just to be a fun experience. I didn't want to overthink it. I'm not really an overthinker anyway, but I didn't want to like, I just wanted to have fun. I just wanted a self-care day. Something new. But anyways, the woman and I start talking, and she's like, if I had to guess, I'd say she's maybe 25. I'd say I got the sense that she was maybe a few years younger than me, but like not much. But anyway, we start from the jump. We start vibing. You know, we start. I mean, I got the sense from her that she's like an introvert like me, and like when an introvert like recognizes an introvert in someone else, it's like, bing, you know, like the little antenna goes up because you almost like instantly recognize each other, you know. So that's the vibes I was getting from her, and that makes me much more talkative because it doesn't feel forced, right? It's like I know that she doesn't really like to engage all that much, so then like I'll do my part too, right? Especially in a setting where it's like, you know, like where it I don't know if it's expected for her to like engage in conversation, but like, you know, in some like tattoos and haircuts, like there's that weird almost obligation to like conversate, right? Someone's touching you, you know, it's almost like it's in our society. It's like, I don't know. So when I realized that she felt like introverted to me, like then I was like, okay, cool. I can be comfortable. Like she doesn't probably want to be asking me all these questions, but she was genuine. Like she was cool about it and she was kind. And so I was like, all right, here, now I'll go further than I usually would. Like I usually, if I clock you as an extrovert and I'm not feeling like talking that day, I'm gonna completely just, it'll go a different way. Like I'm not afraid to be quiet. I am not afraid to just not respond. You know, like there is such a power in not responding. Like try it the next time. Like I encourage anybody who, if you, oh no. Oh, we went dark. Man, we having all the issues today, guys. Oh no. All right, guys. Let me try to get this back. Let me try to get this back. We are super scuffed today, huh? All right, hold. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, hang tight, guys. Hang tight, hang tight. I'm still here. Hey, puppy. You okay, puppy? There we go. We're back. We're back. When in doubt, just start unplugging things and plugging them back in. I don't know. So I don't know if what we really solved, but we're back at it. All right. So, man, this is it's a Saturday. We'll get all the scuffness into, well, we'll pack it all into one day, right? So it doesn't happen, you know, the other days. But yeah, I really recommend, if there's something like someone you're not vibing with, or even if you just want to do it as a social experiment, the next time someone like says something to you, just don't respond. Like it is such a power move. Like that's alpha right there. And I don't even use it like in those ways. Like I don't want to exert my alpha. I don't want that. That's not me, you know. I don't care, but I use it more as like I don't want to talk. I don't want to engage in this conversation because it's like a lot of times it'll happen where I'm with someone and like, you know, they're just trying to fill the space. And as soon as I feel like you're just trying to fill the space with words, I'm out. I don't want to talk about it. I am so comfortable with myself and so comfortable in silence. And I've, you know, a lot of people are not comfortable in silence. So they just kind of fill up the space. And when I feel like they're filling up space, I just don't respond and just see what happens. And a lot of times a lot of people, they'll get the hint eventually. If you just don't respond once or twice, you know, you're eventually not going to be talking about that subject anymore. Like, it's so freeing, actually. It's like, those days, like, a lot of times, especially, like, I had an old job, and I've only been comfortable doing this in, like, the past few years, but I had a job where I drove a lot, and there'd be some days where, like, it'd be 8 in the morning and you start work, and, I'd have a partner with me, and even if I liked the person I was with, it's just like some days I don't want to start 8 a.m. I don't want to start my morning talking about whatever they felt like talking about, right? Like, I honestly, if you know me, I need a good 2-hour head start on the day. I need to ease into it with some quiet music and some self-reflection. So that's where it really stemmed from, was like some mornings, man, they would say something and I would just not even respond, or I'd smile, but like I wouldn't like engage any further. And then a lot of people just took the hint. They just, and you can be upfront about it too. I've done it too. I'm like, I'm not really in the mood to talk about this right now, or I'm not really in the mood to talk at all. Like, you could say that too, but it's so much more of a power move to just not respond to somebody. But I don't know. It's just a funny observation. So try it out if you're curious. But like, some people just are not comfortable with letting someone's conversation just die, right? Like, I do it all the time at the bar. Like, whenever I'm at the bar, like I do it. So it's almost every time at the bar. There's always, you get somehow roped into conversations, right? Just people talking, and a lot of times, if someone says something to me and I'm like, no, I don't want to even get into that, I just don't respond. And just see what happens. Just see where it goes. See if they latch onto somebody else. See if they want to try a new approach with me. It's just like, I don't like filling up space with words. I'd rather fill up the space with my thoughts, or with just the ambiance or other people's conversations instead of my own, because it takes so much brain power for me and so much willpower and effort to like engage in conversation. So it's like, there's my puppy. If you can imagine, if, like I said, I'm like a health bar. Like, if I got a health bar and every conversation I have throughout the day knocks down my health a little bit, and if I get to E before I'm in bed, that's a problem, right? I don't want to be on E and still be out in the world, because then that's not good. So I got to choose my conversations carefully, right? And if I know going into a conversation that I'm going to not enjoy the conversation, I'm out. Hey, puppy, come here now. That's enough. But yeah, I recommend that. If you want to see what happens, just don't respond to somebody. Just see what shakes out. Come here now. 3, 2. Countdowns work, man. It doesn't matter if you're a kid or a dog. Good job. But anyway, so yeah, I'm vibing with this woman who's doing my nails, right? And we're just talking about, tattoos and life, and she goes to the gym where she's from, and we just got talking about fitness and just anything, man. It was cool. But the thing that struck me about her were her accent was really cool. It was a southern accent, and I am a sucker for southern accents. I am a sucker for a lot of things, all right? Each day you're going to learn what I'm a sucker for, but today it's southern accents. It's a big reason, well, not a big reason, but like a lot that drew me to the South was the accents and the twang. But where I'm at in North Carolina, nobody's really even from the South here. It's weird. It's like a lot of people you meet are just like fellow Midwesterners or people from the migrated in. So no one even has the accent. Like, it's rare down here that I even find someone with a southern accent. Um, which is it kind of was sad for me for a little while, but it does make it when you hear accents down here, it makes it like even more, exciting. But anyway, she had a pretty, I don't want to say heavy, but like it was a pretty good southern accent. Like, it was unmistakable. And so that immediately I was like, okay, cool. I'm in it. I'm here. And then we started talking about dogs, and that was cool because I could talk about my puppy all day long. And then she started talking about like golden doodles, and yeah, and it turns out she has a fish named Jake, which is hilarious. That is funny. Like, that's the funniest fish name I think I've ever heard is Jake. But yeah. So the other thing that struck me with her was her kindness. Like, she just seemed really sweet, and I think, and not, maybe I was crushing a little bit, but not like, nothing. I wasn't like, yeah, I'm gonna develop a crush, but it's only because I don't really talk to anybody else. So these days, if you smile at me for longer than a second, I'm gonna develop a crush on you. Don't matter who you are. It don't matter. So, but no, she was like her kindness, like that's it for me. Like, if you're kind and if you're funny, those two things, I don't want anything else is extra, like I don't care about looks. I don't care. Like, obviously I have like sudden like visual attractions, I'm human, but it's like that stuff that fades, that doesn't really matter to me too much in the long term. What is like primary for me is kindness. Like, if you were kind, like if you were genuinely kind, I'm going to find you so attractive. It doesn't, I'm not, and that doesn't mean you have to be perfect, right? You don't have to be always cheerful and always, always on it, always bubbly, whatever that means. For me, kind means if I can genuinely tell that you would be nice to animals and nice to kids. That's my barometer. And nice to strangers. Like, if you're nice to animals, kids, and strangers, genuinely, like I can feel that you're kind for them, like, and not just putting on a show, that's it for me. That's it for me. Like, and and on the flip side, if you're not kind, that's the hard red flag. Like, that's the checkered flag for me. I'm out. I'm done. I'm finished. That's like a deal breaker. I remember I was seeing this. It was like a second or third date with this woman, and she ended up like, we were like, I don't remember the situation, but she was just like, her unkindness was showing, right? She seemed sweet and bubbly, like on the first date, but I think it was date number 2, and she was just, unkind to strangers. She was kind to me, but like unkind to like people around her, and I was just like, no, I can't, because I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for someone. When I see kind, like, people, like, what I'm looking for now these days, I'm 31. I'm looking for someone to raise, kids with, and I want my children to have a kind family. I want her mom to be kind, or their mom. I always picture. It's funny. My what's it called? My true desires are coming out, because I've always wanted a daughter. Like, so that's why I said she. I didn't even mean for that to come out, but like, surprise, I really want a daughter. Um, but I want my kids to have a kind mom and a kind dad, and I like to think of myself as pretty kind. I'm not perfect, I have my days where, and if you hurt the ones I love, I can be unkind, I have a little bit of meanness in me, but like the majority of me is, I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want anyone to feel bad. I don't, I want puppies to be happy and have lives that last forever. I want strangers to feel comfortable around me. I'm just like, I like being kind. That's the way I was raised. My parents are both so kind, and they'll bend over backwards for a stranger if they could. you know. And these days, I know, it's like it's double-edged sword, because a lot of times, even this girl I was talking to, the one who was doing the nails, like she even said like she's kind, and it's almost a fault because people take advantage of that. And it sounded like we didn't get into it, but like it sounded like she has some stuff in her past that like made her like have some trust issues, which I get it like that. But like me, me, I want to go deep, so I you can't really. This is like the first 10 minutes I met her. I could usually, if it was a dating setting and I know I'm gonna get to know this person more, I would go into it. But like, this is like, all right, we doing here. I'm here for a service. You lend in your expertise, and then I'm out of here in 20 minutes, right? So I couldn't press the issue. I couldn't get into like the nitty gritty of someone's trauma at 1 p.m. on a Saturday, right? But I wanted to. But yeah, like these days, it's almost like being kind is almost seen as a character flaw or something. But like not for me, never for me, And I know there's people like, the thing that kills me is like, all those, I don't know why this is the first thing I latch on to, but all those serial killers in like the past, like Ted Bundy, who like preyed on, specifically women's like kindness, he would be like, yeah, I'm hurt, or like he would pretend he would be hurt, and he'd like help me to my car, and then he'd like end up brutally, murdering them, right? Which is like, that makes me want to kill, like that makes me want to kill him, like that makes me want to, anybody who takes advantage of someone's kindness, like, is the lowest of the low to me, like the lowest of the low. Don't do that. Don't. Come on. But yeah, like I just, when someone is like genuinely kind and you can feel it, like I have a few people in my life outside of my family, like I like to think most of like my family, like we're pretty kind people. But then I've met a few people along the way who are also like, just, you can feel the warmth. Like some people, you can just feel their kindness. It's almost like you're sitting next to sunshine when you're with them, yeah, it's so cool. It's like, I know this girl, Michelle, who's actually, I got her pin on my hat right here, from her streamer days. She's a streamer, and I've talked about her before, where she's like really instrumental in like why I'm streaming these days, But she's one of those that just a genuinely kind person. Like she is like one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life. Like even back in our high school days, because that's where we like I got to know her. Like she stood out because she was like just warm, and high school is not easy for all of us, right? Even the ones who pretend it is. Like high school is not easy for any of us. So to be like absolutely kind throughout that was just, it stood out, But yeah, she's one of those where like you sit next to her, if you have like, it's one of those like, I think whenever like I think of her, I'm just like the thought in my head is, man, the people around her are so lucky. Like the people who get to be in her orbit and the people who get to like spend time with her are so lucky because she is just pure sunshine. Um, and I really hope like all of us out there have somebody like her, like, you know, someone who like being around a kind person just changes you. It just makes you a better person. Like it's just you want to do better. You feel warmer. You feel like lighter. You feel just I don't know. And I like to think that I've got some of that in me, where people around me like feel my kindness and kind of, you know, feel good. Um, but yeah. So the thing that struck me with the woman doing my nails was like her accent, her southern accent, and her kindness. Like she just had that warmth about her, and like I'm a stranger to her, right? We're just meeting, but she's just warm, and you know, she's introverted, but just because you're introverted, kindness and like affability and extrovertism aren't like mutually exclusive, right? So it's like, or I don't know if that's what I meant to say, but they don't always go hand in hand. You know, you can be an introvert and be the kindest. You know, it's kind of that situation. You know, introverts get that shy, awkward, like, you know, cold kind of persona, I guess. But no, like, I would be willing to bet she's an introvert, and she was just warm and just, I don't know, just good vibes. You know, she passed the vibe check. But anyways, then she started like doing stuff with my nails, my hands, and it was really cool because it's like now I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can't really tell any different, but they're clipped and clean and like polished and buffed, and like they look very symmetrical, which is kind of cool. Like usually the only stuff I like moisturize, and I clip them and clean them, but that's about it. Like I don't ever like push anything or clear anything. I don't know, you know, whatever she was doing with these tools that I was seeing, like it almost looked like dentistry tools. It was kind of cool. It's definitely something like I want to do again. Like I might do it a monthly thing, and I'll do my feet too, just to see what that's like. Because I'm on my feet like all the time, right? I'm walking, I'm hiking. I pretty much hike for a living, so you know it'd be good to. I mean, not that my feet are bad; they're just average. Like they're just normal. They're just feet, right? But I want to like pamper myself a little bit and see what that's like. But it felt cool, and it like my hand smelled so good from the whatever they were using, the whatever like cream she used, like smelled really good. But now I can say that I've gotten a manicure. And I will do it again. I will do it again. I definitely recommend it. It's I thought it would be weird to have somebody touching my hands, cuz like I don't, outside of like I don't know. It's like cuz I don't date often, right? So it's like it's usually just me and my dog, you know. So I don't really ever have people touching me. Not that I don't like touch. Like I love being touched. Like when I'm in a relationship, like my love language is physical touch. You know, I'm the one that's like I'm all up on you. You know, if we're riding in the car, my hands on your thigh. You know, if we're watching a movie, you know, I love, you know, having your legs on me, or like, you know, just, or you know, I'm always like the one. Just I got my hand on you, or I got, you know, my leg on you. Whatever it is, like I'm always that's me. If we're falling asleep, I'll rest my hand on your you know, maybe your hips or your whatever. What's the side of the that's the hip, right? Not the butt cheek, but like the side of that, the side cheek. Like that's where, yeah, I'm just very touchy. But like when I'm not dating or seeing somebody, you know, nobody has access to me like that, right? I don't have people touching me outside of like tattoos. Like nobody really, you know, nobody puts their hands on me like that. You know, I hug every once in a while. because I am a big hugger, but like I don't really have, outside my family and a few friends, I don't really have anybody who I'm just hugging like that. It's like I actually ran into on New Year's Eve, which was what, like 4 months ago, something like that. And we ended up hugging, and like I remember I hugged her. We hugged for like a minute and a half, and like that was the longest hug I've had like in years. Like that should tell you, like I don't know. It comes with the territory of being I don't want to say single, but maybe being an introvert, maybe being like comfortable solo. We'll talk about this when we go into my dating, but like if anyone wants to hear it. But like I can go years without like seeing somebody like romantically. I'm so comfortable by myself, so good by myself that it doesn't lend itself, that my lifestyle doesn't really lend itself to frequent touch, which is kind of sad when I say it out loud, but it's not sad through the day to day. I'm not like super lonely. I'm actually quite the opposite. I'm very comfortable being alone, and it's very rare these days that I get lonely. And I'm the type where I would much rather be alone than be lonely with someone else, right? Or I'd much rather be alone than have somebody there just to fill up the space, right? Just like conversations where I don't want to fill up the space. I don't want to fill up every silence with words. I don't want to fill up my life just with a person. I'd much rather just be by myself than have the wrong person with me. That's me in a nutshell. So, but that means that I'm very selective about who who I spend my time with. So then that narrows down how many chances or how many opportunities I have for people to touch my hands, or people to just touch my body or so all that being said, it was very nice. I thought it would be weird for someone to touch me, like my hands, because also fun fact about me is my hands are very what's the word, is it not androgynous, because that means like you can pass for like your gender fluidity, like erogenous, that's the word, not androgynous. It's an androgynous zone. No, an erogenous zone for me. Like my hands, I don't know what it is, but like if you like massage my hands, or if I'm dating someone and like they kiss my hands, like that's like the same effect that like when someone kisses my neck, like same thing. So it's like a very sensitive, and like that'll get me worked up, is what I'm saying. But so I was curious. Like obviously it was a different setting. It's not that kind of situation where someone's like working on your nails, but I was curious at like what the sensation would be like. Because once again, I don't have just people like hanging out, touching my hands all the time. But no, it felt normal. It felt like, she was really cool. She was engaging, she was kind and warm, and honestly, we started talking, and I wasn't even really paying attention to what she was doing. Like I could look down and I could see her like doing stuff with her tools and things, but like I couldn't really even focus on what it felt like. Like it felt good, but like we started talking about, the things I love to talk about: dogs, fitness, hometowns, TV shows, books, tattoos. It's like we started talking about that, and I'm just like getting lost in the conversation, as I'm wont to do, and it just wasn't as weird as I thought. So manicures, they're officially going in the yes column. They're officially in there. Like I really enjoyed it. And like the rest of the day, I went to a cafe later that day, and I was just like looking down and just kind of just admiring it. Like, it's kind of nice. It's kind of cool. It's like they look so clean. Clean's not really the word, because my hands, I don't get dirt. Like, I clean my hands, so like I don't like having dirt under my fingernails, and like I'm outside all day, so I get dirt in my fingernails a lot. But I always clean it out, and I keep them trimmed. But these look like just symmetrical, like, and I don't know. I don't know nail tech, like the words, the definitions, the terminology, but they look alright. You know, I recommend it. And then after that, I went to this really cool cafe downtown. That's the first time I checked this place out. But I saw them. They there was like a post on Instagram that featured their, like, they just opened. So I went to go check it out. And it's just this coffee shop, this cafe slash draft house. But so I went over there and I saw, like, when I was getting there, like, it started getting dark, like the clouds were rolling in again, and I didn't think anything of it. So I get in there, and it's like this. It's a bigger space than I thought. Like, it's just like an old. They had a sign and I can't remember. It was like an old market, I think, if I can paint the scene. So there's an outside courtyard, and then you go in through the doors, and they've got like big, giant, like wall to or floor to ceiling windows, which are beautiful, just a bunch of them. And then you're in this like warmly lit, cafe, and it's pretty big. There's like big comfortable chairs here and big comfortable sofas here, and they've got an upstairs area for kids. And I was like, dang, that's kind of dangerous to put the kids up with that, to climb a ladder or stairs, but that's neither here nor there. And then this big like wraparound horseshoe bar where Phoebe's trying to attack me. Ouch! Not today, Phoebe. But we I get up there and I order, a pineapple green tea and a blueberry lemon muffin, which is delicious. And I took a seat like near the far end where I could kind of people watch and look out the window and kind of just like get the feel of the place, right? And I was listening to Wings by Mac Miller, which, if y'all don't know that song, that is one of my favorite songs. It's so good. It's so good. If you don't F with me, you're effing up. Like, one of my favorite Mac Miller songs, R.I.P. But so I was sitting there just watching the cafe, and I liked it. It was a little louder than I expected, something about the acoustics, like the conversations ran a little bit louder than most cafes I've been in, which is like, I don't know how I feel about this, because a lot of times I like to read or write, and like I like to be able to turn off my music and like kind of get the ambiance. And if it's too loud, it's just, I can't think. It's just too much. It's like overstimulating. So it was getting there. It was like a little too loud. So I put my music in a little louder and was just trying to. I actually kind of zoned out for a little bit, but then all of a sudden I look out and I can see the courtyard, and like people are starting to like pour into the cafe, right? Everyone who was sitting outside, and I was like, what's going on? And then I noticed it's like, it's storming, like it's pouring down, like it's just like in a sheet, like, and I was like, where did this come from? Like, it went from 0 to 100 real quick. Like, that's something about this North Carolina like weather that I did not expect. Like, where I'm from in Iowa, you get a good head start on your rain, right? You know pretty well. Like, it's so flat out there that like that storm is not gonna come sneak up and like get you, right? Like, you're never gonna get like an arm bar with a Midwest storm. Like, they can't sneak up on you. We see you. Like, I see you. Like 600 miles away, I see you. We got time. Like, you always get at least a 12-hour head start. A 12-hour heads up on a good storm in the Midwest. Just the way the it's set up there. It's so flat. There's no mountains to do anything weird. There's no coast, so it doesn't nothing. It is what it is, right? You see a green or red or orange blob coming up on the map, you're just like, all right, I'll see you in about 6 hours. I'll get my snacks ready. I'll get all my chores done so I get cozy and wait for this to come in. That's how Midwest storms are. But Carolina storms? Now, I don't know meteorology, right? Nobody really does. Nobody does. But they always say it's one of those, you check your weather app and it's like it's not raining. Like it tells you it's not raining, but you're outside getting poured on. Like, what's that? Do better. But I don't know. Like I don't know the dynamics of like formations and undercurrents and riptides. I know that last one is Vance Joy album, so or song. But yeah, something like in where I'm at in the Triad area in North Carolina, like the storms kind of bounce off mountains and bounce off, and like the coast, I don't know if the coast feeds it or something happens, but these storms just straight up come up like they stalkers. Like they just lurk and they just like, and they find out when your back is turned and they just pounce. It's the wildest thing. It's like I'd never experienced it before. Well, I know I experienced it in Hawaii. Like Hawaii would happen too. Like they just pop up out of nowhere. Like I'm just like, what direction did you come in? We're in an island. I don't even. First of all, Hawaii confuses me. I don't know my bearings. At least when you're in the continental U.S., like up is north, right, and left is west. You can kind of that situation. But Hawaii, I'm like, yo, what is going on? I'm all like, it don't make sense. So I don't know where I'm getting hit from. That's a problem. But in North Carolina, it's like they sneak up on you. Like you be all good, and then like 7 minutes later, you're in a hailstorm out of nowhere. Like I don't understand it. I joke with my buddy KB. Like I'm like, yo, I've been here 3 years. I don't understand the weather any more than I did that first day I was here. It don't make sense. But yeah, so it started just pouring. Like the sky just opened up and it was dark and just people were rushing in and they were closing all the umbrellas out there and everything. And then it got even louder in the place, and so I turned up my music even more. I just kept listening to Wings on repeat, because one thing about me is I am not afraid to wear out a song. I will listen to that thing about 20 times if the vibe is right. If it's just like the particular vibe I want, I'm gonna roll with it. So I just kept listening to it, and I could not stop staring at the rain. Like the one thing about that place, and I'm gonna go back because it is a really cool spot actually. Like the first time I've been checking out a few different spots around town recently, but this one was probably the best cafe vibe. Just like I checked out one that was like downtown, and it was modern, and it was cool that it was downtown, but it was like something was missing, right? And then I checked out another spot that was like really close to my house, but it wasn't really a cafe. It was more like a restaurant, I guess, or like a catering spot. It was cool, but but this spot was like pure cafe. Like it was almost like you could feel like Rachel and Ross and Joey like showing up here and just having a chat. It felt like a very 90s kind of warmth to it, which that is pretty high on the list of as far as cafe vibes go for me. I love if I can't have like an old Victorian style kind of bookstore / castle library vibe with a fireplace and a hearth and all that, you know, then I want 90s warm nostalgia cafe. And that's what this one felt like. So I was sitting there sipping my tea, watching the rain just pour, like the windows floor to ceiling just big, that you could just see out and watch the rain. And I just watched it. It rained for a good bit. Like for 15 minutes it was just like solid, like heavy rain. And then it like slowly like started lessening, and it lasted for a good maybe 45 minutes to an hour. So I honestly just watched the rain that whole time. I was thinking about the woman who did my nails, and just like reliving that, like not reliving it, but kind of just thinking about it. And I was also doing some writing and just trying to soak up the ambiance of the place. And that rainstorm secured my return trip to this place, because that I don't know, you can't recreate that. Like if I would have gone there and it had just been sunny all day, it'd have been like, okay, it'd be cool, like it's you know, it's fine, it's a good vibe, I'll come back. But the fact that it was raining, like a rainy day cafe is a completely different experience than a sunny day cafe. And you know, I think you know what I'm talking about. Like that sunny day cafe is good. Like it's, you know, it's good. You get the drink, you get the food, you get the ambiance, you kind of chill out. But that rainy day cafe, somehow the coffee in the air starts smelling better. The conversations are kind of more secretive and exciting, you know. And it just gives you something to look at, and it's just like you can't go out, so you're stuck in here now because you don't want to go in the rain. It makes the cafe experience, in my eyes, at least 5 times better, you know. But so the rain secured my enjoyment there, and I will go back, and hopefully I'll plan it for a rainy day, because that's a good spot now. And the blueberry muffin was fire, with big old blueberries. It was delicious, not too sweet. So yeah, I ended up reading a few more chapters of Jane Eyre. It's getting pretty dicey. It's getting pretty good. I don't know if you guys have read that one, but it's pretty good. And the way she writes, she's a talented writer, man. She is so talented. And the fact that she could write something 100 years ago and still make it like it still hits me in my feelings. But I'm at the part where she's visiting her aunt. I think that's her relation to her. I think it's her aunt. And if you haven't read it, her aunt was like notoriously mean to her when she was a kid. Like she was abusive. She was just that classic, I don't want to say stepmom behavior, but like pretty much the aunt, her husband took after Jane when she was a baby because, you know, her parents died, right? And her uncle, I guess it is, you know, cared for this little baby Jane like better than he cared for his own kids. Like he loved her. It was his little girl, right? But then he got sick and he died. And his last request is like, hey, aunt, like take care of Jane. Just treat her well. And the aunt did not treat her well. She resented Jane. She, I guess, whatever she stood for, like stood like in her, whatever the aunt like viewed her as, like was not good. So anyways, Jane goes back and visits her when she's, I don't want to say on her deathbed. Hey puppy, that's the HDMI cord. If this cuts out, it's because my puppy is knocking over things. But anyways, it's a cool story. It's a crazy story for the time, right? Because this isn't really a spoiler because they're side characters, but her cousin, one of her cousins, kills himself because he just gets in like a dark side of England. He just, a troublemaker. He maybe gets hooked on some. I don't know if they had drugs back then. They probably did. What's that? Opium. He was probably on opium or something. I don't know. And probably getting drunk all the time. And he was in a bad place. So right. And he was a gambler. Anyways, they came out. Excuse me. He might have killed himself. But then when his mom found out, the aunt, she found out she had a stroke, right? It was just too much for her body to like comprehend. So she like had a stroke. And now she's in that state, right? And now Jane is like going up to see her. And so that's where I'm at in the book. And it's getting pretty dicey. It's bringing up a lot of stuff. Like, it's crazy how deep she goes and how like psychologically in tune she was with just thoughts and emotion and human like existence. Cause like right now, the character Jane is like trying to resolve these like issues from the past. Like, should she show lenience or mercy on this woman who, just because she's older now and not well, you know, does that grant her forgiveness for the awful treatment that Jane went through as a child, right? During her formative years, like she's getting abused and like it's shaping her into a person. And you know, does that time really heal, right? Or is she deserving, just because time is passing? Does the aunt deserve, you know, exoneration? So it's like Jane's wrestling with that, but she's also looking into this woman's face, this stern woman's face, who just like abused her for years. And these feelings, these just innate feelings are coming back in, even though she told herself going in, like, I'm going to be kind, I'm going to be nice, I'm not going to mistreat this woman. She's, you know, in a bad state, you know, but like, she can't help it. Like, you can't help these feelings when they come out, and you don't want to say hate, but like, this woman caused so much darkness in your life. You can't control. You're human. You can't control every single emotion that affects you, right? So that's what's crazy, is like, this was written 2023. So maybe 100, I don't know time well, especially English time, but maybe 130 years ago. Let's say that. And it's like she has this this grasp over a character and a human's emotional, you know, trauma and emotional, you know, path, I guess. And the nuance of it all. Like, it's crazy. And she's also like, it's so cool. It's so wild. I recommend it. It's so good. The language in it is beautiful. I love that old English, that proper English. You know, you sound like you're from London. My puppy. He got the coughs. But it's like, I don't know, something about that time period really, really interests me in terms of like writing. But like the Brontes, like, I don't know, something about the Brontes. And I'm, of course, right now, I'm like, all the authors are flying out of my head, even though they're on my shelf right there. But like, so I can lock in the Brontes. Like, I just love that very formal, I guess formal to us now, formal writing, you know, with crazy words that I have to Google. I spend like a good chunk of every book I'm reading from that time period. I have to Google the words because I don't know what it is. Hey, puppy, come here. Nashville. He's gonna bump the camera. Hey, puppy, come here. No, good job. But yeah, if you haven't read Jane Eyre and you like that kind of historical fiction, I recommend it. Anybody else like that language like I do? Like the old English, you know, late 1800s, early 1900s, like English. It's like the old English, but old and like OLDE. It's like they added extra letters just because. And then over time, we're just like, you know what? We don't even need that E. It's the same. You just drop it and you just get the same, like that kind of English. Just extra letter kind of English. Aluminium kind of English. But yeah, so hopefully I can finish that one, man. I've been honestly, I've been reading Jane Eyre for like 3 months. And that's too long for me for a book because it's mainly just because it's so long. It's like I said, 400 pages or something like that, or the edition I got. Like, it's just my life these days has been, work, learning piano, streaming, hanging out with my puppy, and Korean dramas. So it's like to fit in 400 pages is been a struggle, but I'm always reminded every time I dive back into it that I really like it, and it puts me in a different place. It literally transports me into this whole different century, which is cool. Like, that's what I love about good writers and good books is they just transport you into a whole different setting. Like, the grasp that books have over me versus any other form of media is insane. Like, because I'm very much of an imaginary person too. Like, not imaginary, but like I'm very much of a daydreamer, like in my head all the time. So it's like my mind can take me to so many different places versus like when I'm watching something, my eyes, like I have to, like, they build that world, right? If I'm watching a TV show, they're responsible for building that world up, and I'm just watching it. Like, it's very, very static for me. It's a very static relationship with TV that, I guess passive is a better word. It's passive because like they're putting it on me, Whereas reading, like, I'm an active participant. Like I'm taking these words and building them up into an environment in my head, and I'm so much better at that. And I'm so much. It's best way to put it is like I can't really get immersed in too many TV shows, like unless it's like vibe city, like unless they get the tone just right where it's like I'm there, like Stranger Things, which is why I resonate with or why Korean dramas resonate with me so much is because they focus so heavily on the tone of things and the mood of a shot or a mood of a scene, where it's like I'm almost there in soul, right? But books have just another level of immersion for me. Like, when I feel like I'm not an anxious person, but if I had anxiety, like, I feel like I would need books more than I already do, because that level of escapism is off the charts for me. Like, I'm that guy that, like, let's say it's a Thursday night and I'm reading a book, I will get lost in it. Even if I have to wake up early the next morning, I will get so lost in this book that I look up and it's like 4 hours later and it's like 2 a.m. and I'm like, I was planning on reading for a half hour. Like, I wanted to go to bed at 10:30, but now it's 2 a.m. and I have to like force myself to stop too. Like, I can't even, like, I have to. It's a double-edged sword, because it's fun. It's good to be, like, for me, good to be that immersed in something, because you just lose yourself and it's pure entertainment and pure imagination. But it's also like when you get in that mode, it's tough to stop. Like, especially if you got work in the morning and like I move and I handle weapons like blades and equipment. Like, so I got to be on my A game for most of the time. Because if you're not an A game as a surveyor, like you're gonna end up with, snake bites, broken bones, like incisions. It's just not a good look. But man, getting lost in a book. Any other like readers out there? Any fans of just like reading? I know there's a lot more people out there that read than I thought. For some reason, because I don't see it often in public, but like there's more readers out there than I think there is. But it's my favorite. It's my favorite. Like the two things that'll get me just lost, like lost in a good way, are creating music and reading and creating digital art. Those three. Those three are the ones that like I've always thought, and I'll probably say this. Maybe I've said this before, and I would definitely say it again. But the best things in life are the things that make you forget to eat. You know, the things that like you are so immersed in and so involved in and so lost in that like you forget, you lose track of time. You know, you just so content with what you're doing that you just, you know, I do that all the time with music. Like it's become that point where like now I have to bring in, specifically before I start making music, I'll have to bring in like maybe some Pop-Tarts or like bring in snacks just to like have that visual cue of like, okay, now I'm eating. Because if not, I will go 8 hours without eating and not even feel hungry, just being lost in it, and then like kind of snap out and be like, oh dang, I really should have eaten. But books are that same way for me, where I almost always have to grab a snack with me just because I need to be reminded to like nourish myself. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be in this shire in England with Jane, just experiencing life with her and forgetting all about my troubles and my needs. But yeah, so I think the one that just like sticks out of my brain right now is Where the Crawdads Sing. I don't know if you ever read that one, but that one is one of the most recent ones I read, and that was definitely one of those where I would be up till like 2 a.m. just reading. Like, it would picture this. It's set in somewhere in the South, I think. Set in like a marsh area, like a swampy, marshy area. I can't remember exactly where, but I always picture like South Carolina or something. It's like a warm environment, and like it's summertime. I got the windows open. It's nighttime. The crickets are singing or playing their violins, and the moon's out. I got my puppy by my feet. It's warm. I got the fan on. I got some tea and some cookies, and I'm just reading, and like everything's perfect. It's warm. I'm reading a warm story. And I look up. I start reading at like 9, right? I'm settling in for bed. I'm like, okay, I'll read for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 45 minutes tops, and then I gotta be up at 6, right? But I'm just so immersed. I'm just reading, and it's just intriguing, and it's well written, and it's kind of beautiful, and there's moments that just like sting my heart, and I'm just like, I gotta keep going. Somewhere along the lines, I'm just like, I forget where I'm at. Like, I'm there in the story with her, like this the main character, and I'm with her as she's exploring the swamp as a kid, and going through all the stuff with her parents, and meeting a new boy, and falling in love for the first time. And I'm right there, like, and I look up, check my phone. My puppy's like fast asleep, so that's a good cue. It's like 1:30, and I'm like, God dang, what the heck? It was just 9:15. It was just 9:15. I would have sworn, if you would have asked me what time it was, I would have sworn it couldn't have been any later than like 10:15. It was like 1:30, almost 2 o'clock. I'm like, dang. But looking back now, like, I was tired that next day for sure. But like, looking back, oh, they got fireworks. I think the baseball game probably ended. I don't know if you can hear that popping, but that's what that is. I hate fireworks. Fireworks are like the one thing that gives me anxiety. Fun fact. But yeah, I love a good book that just sucks you in. So that's why it kind of sucks that like I'm so I'm drawing out Jane Eyre so much is because I can't wait to finish it because A, it's a good story, but also I want to get into another book that like I cannot wait to read. Like Jane Eyre was like that up until a point, but it was just so long that it's just that now it's just like, okay, now it's like, you know, it's like Supernatural. It's like now, like 10 seasons in, like I just gotta finish it at this point. Like, are we even having fun? I mean, I'm there, but like, are we even having fun? Um, but it's still good. It's well written. I just want to know how it ends. I want that satisfaction of like finishing the last page and closing it up. You know, I'm already almost 300 pages in. I gotta get there. But it's almost a struggle because I'm so thirsty for a book to get lost in, and I've got so many on my shelf that I want to get into. I've never read any of Donna Tartt's stuff, but I got one of her books, maybe The Secret History, and everyone recommended that one to me, and I so that's probably the next one. But I have to get through this book because I have a bad habit of stopping books like halfway through. Even books I want to finish, I just like on to the next one. But so yeah, cafe was fun, manicure was fun. I'm gonna show them off a few times today. You can't really see it; doesn't look any different, but they're nice and clean and symmetrical, well shaped. Yeah, I'll probably do it. I'll probably end up doing it next month too, just to. I don't know. It's just a fun. It's a cool experience. I get why people do it. I get it. I get it now. I never understood, and I didn't even get the fancy. I didn't even get like the nail art, which is a whole other aspect to it. I just got the simple manicure with the cleanup and the cuticle stuff, and that felt good, and it was cool. It was just a good way to spend a half hour, 45 minutes. She had me like soak my fingers in a water bowl at first. So, being my first time, she like she puts a bowl of water in front of me. Right, I'm at this little station. Pretty much, it's got a table, a light, a chair on my side, and a chair on her side, and she just kind of brings a towel and a metal bowl with water. And for a second, I hesitate because I'm like, because honestly, in my context, all I know. I've never been to a nail salon, right? So I just know a metal bowl in the context of like food. So like, even though I knew somewhere in my mind it wasn't this, like for a split second I was like, am I supposed to drink this? Like just like that's because I'm not familiar in this setting, right? So I don't have anything to draw from. So she puts this metal bowl in front of me. I'm at a table, right, in public. Like I just have a restaurant to draw from, so I'm like, hot second, I was like, do I sip this? But then she's like, she could tell on my face like I was confused, and she just told me like, okay, dip your finger or put your fingers in there. And look, I'm an honest guy, so I straight up said, I was like from the jump, I was like, hey, this is my first time, so you're gonna have to show me, I more or less was like, yo. Like, go easy on me, even though she was kind and I knew she'd be understanding. I just wanted to like make it clear, like, yo, if I mess up or I don't know what you want me to do, kind of work with me and kind of ease me into it, show me, teach me. So that's, and that's that's something I've learned, like growing older, is like letting your ego go and letting your pride go. It's like, and a lot of people struggle with that, and I get it, but like, you don't have to know everything. You don't have to like understand everything. So like, now that I'm older, I'm just like, yeah, I'm going to this place I've never been before. It's okay to be like, yo, I don't know what to do here. You put a metal bowl in front of me with water, I might go and drink it. Now I didn't drink it. But like that was my first instinct. That initial knowledge I had and everything I've ever learned in my life. It's like you see a bowl of water, probably gonna drink it. All right, I'm not confronted with bowls of water too often. Um, I pour a water dish for my puppy every day, and he drinks out of it. So it's like, well, I don't know, but I think there's so much. I don't know. It's like I always feel better in those moments, like admitting, yo, I don't know what to do here. Because it's like a weight off my shoulder. It's like I don't have to worry. I don't have to keep the worry in me. And like a lot of people you meet, like they are so cool with you not knowing what to do. If anything, I imagine it like when people say that to me, it makes me like, it lets my guard down, right? It lets me like kind of seamlessly transition into that like more mentor kind of role, or like teacher, or like, I guide you, versus like, I think you know what you're doing, so we're going to approach it that way. So I think that's a big thing that I'm learning. Especially when you have to like navigate like through masculinity and like, social dynamics of things. It's like, I think there's such a strength in just admitting when you don't know what to do. So that's what I did. I was like, yo, I see this bowl. She saw my face. I was like, yeah, I don't know, I don't know what's up. I've never done this before. This is my first time, And from there, she was so sweet. She was like, yeah, she just kind of walked me through everything. She's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then she just kind of took my hand and just started going to town. And it was cool because, like, there was no pretense. There was no, like, I don't know. I honestly didn't know what was going on. But she knew that I didn't know what was going on. So it was comfortable. Versus me just worrying the whole time, like, am I doing this right? Does she think I'm doing this right? Does she think I'm dumb for not? Or like, any thoughts that you get in your head, like you just kind of like, does she think I'm silly for having my hand like this when I don't, But instead, she knows up front, I don't know what's going on. Show me. But yeah, it was really cool. It was cool. It was peaceful. The vibes are right. The conversation was, like I said, I don't speak much to outside of this. Like you're getting more like words per minute out of me than anybody in my entire life, pretty much. So in my day to day, it's me and my headphones, me and my puppy. Like sometimes, like when I work with KB or like some people at work, like I KB specifically, because he's my dude. Like he's so cool, and when we work together, it's like, okay, then I'm like talkative and we share. But like anybody else, I'm like, I keep to myself. It's me and my music, or my books or whatever. So it is always fun to like be out and about and actually like have a conversation with somebody, and it reminds me like, okay, sometimes I do miss that. Sometimes I do miss that like perspective on things that like, it makes me think about something other than myself, right? It's like, because, I have all these thoughts and I daydream a lot, but it's always usually in the context of like me. It's very, I don't want to say selfish, but it's me centric. It's like all I know, right? I'm not gonna have somebody else's thoughts, right? Like I can think of somebody else. Like I can think, obviously, like I can put myself in someone else's shoes in my mind, but like it's always in the context of still me. I know me and I know my existence. So that's a whole other thing. But it's nice to not have to think about myself or to think about, my experiences. Sometimes it's just nice to hear somebody else talk about life and somebody else talk about their experience and talk about their fish named Jake. It's good. I think it's something that like I have to be reminded of. Like I can get so stuck in my day to day and just like I said, I'm fine with being by myself and being alone, and I can get so set in that where it's like I almost forget just kind of how nice it is like to chat with somebody and to talk about their experiences. And because I'm a big proponent of like if you really listen to somebody, not only is that good for them, but it's good for you. Like they get to share, and there's a lot of growth that comes from conversations and really listening to somebody. Like not only are you getting to learn more about them and their story and what makes them them, but it also a lot of times, like, other benefits can be, you might get a laugh, you might, but you learn about yourself. You get a whole different perspective, and they don't even have to be giving you active advice. Like they don't have to be telling you what to do with your life, but you can hear what they did with their life or what they're currently doing, and it like affects you, often for the better, in my opinion. But so that's what struck me today, and I'm kind of like processing it with you now, like digesting it with you, because, like I said, the cafe I was at was kind of loud, so I couldn't really digest a lot of like what happens or what happened through the day, But like I like to, at the end of the day, I like to like kind of decompress and like kind of think about the interactions I had that day and just kind of, digest and get situated on things. It's just nice. So that's what we're doing here, I guess. That's what this is kind of turned into. So hopefully this is something I don't know, maybe you don't even have to care about. Like I said, this whole thing, I started this whole thing so you guys, like, somebody out there could have me in the background, like, as a comforting sound. Right? So I don't even know who's out there, like, actually paying attention to the words. I don't know. Because the whole basis behind this thing was just to be a comforting voice and a comforting spot for you to land on, a Saturday evening. So with that in mind, like I said, don't take any of this. Maybe it affects you, maybe it doesn't. I don't know, but just I don't want to lose track of like what I started this to be. Is just a safe, warm space, a voice, a familiar voice for you to have on while you're doing, like, living your life and doing your thing. So, like I said, I don't know how much of the things I'm saying actually resonate, but I don't know. We out here. But yeah, that's what's sticking to me now. As I'm like further removed from the conversation with her, was just, sometimes I do miss just having just conversations with people, or like really just getting into like their lives, and like I said, this was maybe a 45-minute conversation we had, but it was a good one, and it was like one of those I could tell that, okay, part of it was like she was, trying to be warm and friendly, and it was the environment, she wanted me to feel comfortable and safe, in this whole thing. But like I could tell by the way she was telling things and like sharing things, it's like these weren't things that like she had thought of like premeditatively. Like she hadn't, like, this isn't like the standard script, because I'm not a standard guy, right? And that sounds, what I mean by that, I'm not like, I don't think I'm like the hot stuff, right? I'm just like, what we've already established is I don't care about the script. I don't care about any of the scripted stuff that like we're supposed to say in society. I don't care about any of that. So what we're going to get into is, I want the unscripted stuff. I want the stuff that like kind of embarrasses you. And we talked about kind of some embarrassing things and some kind of like, I could tell that what I got from her was she's probably really funny when she's around people she's comfortable with. Like she has that kind of humor that like I could tell off the bat, like she was trying to test the waters a little bit, and she was like saying some like, not jokes, but like some kind of off the cuff kind of like humor, which would like really resonate with me if we were like comfortable with each other. Like if I knew her in a friend setting, I think she's probably really funny, because you could just tell like she wanted to push the envelope a little bit, and like and I was right there with her. But I could tell, I'm gonna like talk about things that like nobody's really talking about, or like not, at least not the majority. I'm gonna ask about, serious things. Like, obviously we didn't get into like the thick of things, but it's one of those things where you can tell if somebody is like going off a script. And as soon as I feel that, then I start going 180. I start like, asking different questions. I'm the one asking like, hey, what was your favorite memory in fifth grade? You know, that's just who I am. This is like, so I'm gonna get some unscripted thing. Nobody's thinking about their favorite memory in fifth grade on their day to day, or like with clients, Or I'm gonna ask you like, what was something embarrassing that happened in your high school days? That's just who I am. So anyway, we got into some things, and I could tell she was an introvert, so I kind of asked her like, you know, or she asked me like if I had been making friends, like, because we got into the fact that I've only been down here for a few years, right? So she was asking me like if I had been making friends, and that seemed like kind of a standard answer or a standard question, which is fine. But like I was just honest with her. I was like, nah, I've made some cool friends, but like I'm also just very much keep to myself, like a homebody. And I could see her eyes like kind of light up, and we're about to move on. But then I asked her like, what about you? Like, she was born and raised down here, but like I was still like, how about you? Do you have a big group of friends, or what's that like? And I could tell by the way I asked it and the way like she didn't really expect it. And she just hit me with the truth, at least what I assumed to be the truth. Like, she's like, nah, not really. And then that's how we got into the fact that like people take advantage of her kindness. Little things like that, like really make me glad to press the issue or to get into things that like people don't really talk about, because like I don't know, it's fun to see that side, the real side, the truth. Like what I mean, obviously I don't know if she could be lying, she could be just telling me what, but why would you admit that? If you want to be seen as like a friendly, open person, like why would you tell somebody that like you don't really mess with people like that? It's just not what I would say. That wouldn't be the lie I would tell. I would hit them with, yeah, I got a big group and we go out every Thursday night, and it's just like TV. That'd make me look more affable and more friendly, but it's not the truth. So it's like I resonated with it, and then we got into talking about kind of that. But that's what I meant when I said that I'm did I say, I don't even remember how I phrased it. I'm unique, or I'm special, something like that. I didn't mean it like in a superiority kind of way. I meant it as like, I'm just weird. I'm just different. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna ask different questions. I'm gonna ask things that like get to different places than usual, right? But it was really cool to hear somebody else talk for a change, and to hear somebody tell stories that like were completely foreign to me. Like apparently she was like born in New York, but she moved pretty much as a baby down south. And it's like, I don't know, I don't think about, that wasn't my path, right? That was not my situation at all. So it was cool to just imagine, it just gives you something completely different to think about, completely like that's never even on your register. Like I never think about, when am I ever going to think about migrating from New York to North Carolina? Like that's not. Also, that's the second time I said migrate today. Clock it. But yeah, it was cool to kind of take myself out of. Although it sounds weird because I was involved in the conversation, but it was like it was cool to kind of let my shoulders back a little bit and not have to only worry about myself, if that makes sense. But I did find out that she is engaged, so sad face. sad face. It wasn't meant to be. She's got someone she loves, so good for her. But I'll go back and I'll go back in a month and do it again. It was fun. It was a fun experience. I'm glad I can look back and be like, yeah, I got a manicure once in my life. Hopefully a few times. Oh. Anybody out there manicure fans? You're out there getting your fingies touched up. Felt good, but also now it makes me want finger tattoos. Like I've got a few. I've got 2 on my fingers that my sister did, and they're like 2 of my favorites actually. But I want some, but I probably won't. I don't know. I feel like the hand's already enough. But how are you doing? How's your Saturday going? You doing anything fun apart from joining me? I like to think that I'm on in the background right now, wherever your speaker's playing from, or your computer or wherever, and you can hear my voice just faintly while you're cooking or doing the dishes or doing something, and it's like comforting you. That's all this. That's all this is for. If that happens one time to one person, then this whole thing has been worth it. Is if I can provide some semblance of the comfort I've received from the streamers I watch into your life. Yeah. And like I've tried to go back and listen to these by me, like listen to my own voice back and forth, or once I finish up, but it's tough. It's like when I don't know, I've already said it, right? I want to go back just to check the coziness level and to check like how it could be perceived. I'm just curious as like what this sounds like to you guys when you're listening. But like it honestly, I just end up checking for the levels, and I'll clip some things for Instagram, or like clip some of the videos for TikTok, but I don't know. I can't ever end up listening to the whole thing, or even like parts of it, just because we've already experienced it, right? We already lived it. Like it's weird. Like I can't, it's like how you'll never be able to meet yourself. You'll never get to see yourself from that outside perspective. You'll never get to like shake hands with yourself or like feel your own energy back to you. It's just, that's exactly how it is, which I wasn't expecting. I thought, I'd listen to it back and I'd kind of feel, but no, it's because it's me and because it's my voice and my words and my thoughts. It's like I can literally like hear what I'm going to say before I say it, so I don't even get to the enjoyment of the surprise or like where this is going to go, because I already know what happens. Or I already know, if I don't know exactly what happens, I know what my brain would think would happen. So then I'm already there, which is kind of funny. Like I can see the connections in my brain before they even happen, even if I've forgotten everything that I've said. So that's all being said, like I hope this is cozy for you, because I can't really go back and vibe check. I can check lighting, I can check, like I said, sound and things like that, and like the tone of my voice, but I can't really check how it feels, because it's going to feel completely different for me than it will for you. But I hope it's some semblance of coziness for you, and just like a warm what's the word I'm thinking? Respite, a warm respite for you. I don't know. I like to think like let's say you're driving down a road at night, and no, a better example is let's say it's a winter night and you're driving over to visit a friend, and it's like a cold night and you're bundled up and you got the car warm, but you know it's cold outside, right? And you're driving and it's frosty and there's snow on the ground, and you're driving for what seems like too long, and you end up making to the house, and you look at the house and it's like you can see the warm lighting pouring out of the house, and you can see just there's decorations and life happening inside, and you just know as soon as you go in there you're gonna be warm and cozy. You're gonna take off your coat and your shoes, and you're just gonna be safe, and for however long you're there, for the next few hours, you're just gonna be content. That's what I hope this is. At least a version of it. Like, that's what I like to picture this as. It's just like a nice little rest stop, a nice little respite from the rest of the day or the rest of the week, where you can just be warm and kick off your shoes and your coat and just, I don't know, just be content, But yeah, I don't know if that. Gotta do a pedicure. Let's get a pedi. You want to get a pedi? Hey, what's up, Marisol? I'm glad to see you here. I talked about, I don't know if you heard it, but I talked about the naming of Phoebe. So we've got Marisol to thank that this is now Phoebe officially. So we'll take good care of her and make sure she's doing all right. So this is Phoebe, thanks to Marisol. But yeah, let's get a pedicure and let's do it one of these days. I'd be down. Like I said, I'd be all on board. I don't know. That would be one of those things that'd be fun to do with somebody else. But I dipped my toes. I dipped my fingers in the water. I dipped my toes in the manicure world, the salon world, and came out a better man for it. I like it. It definitely makes you feel like you've been I don't want to say pampered, but like you're taking care of yourself. Like it's one of those things where, like, baths, you sometimes, even though it feels mentally like I'm taking care of myself, you don't really feel like you've actively worked on your body, right? You don't feel like you've restored any part of you, but like manicures, like you just feel like, oh man, now my hands are like pristine. It just feels nice. So yeah, that was cool. I was thinking about also doing a massage, but man, massages, I don't know, it's hit or miss with me for massages. I remember one time I went to this massage place in the mall down in Tennessee when I was living in outside Nashville. Where was that at? I think Murfreesboro. Is that how you say it? Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is where I got the best curry of my life. Just amazing beef potato. Not at the same mall. Not the massage place. That was a separate establishment. But I remember I went to the mall on one of my off days. This was when I was working like 60 hours a week, right? And so I had one off day. It was a Saturday, and I went to the mall. And I don't remember if I planned to get a massage or if I just going to the mall. But anyway, I saw this dude like standing outside this massage place. I was like, you know what? I'm wearing the appropriate attire. I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt. Like this is massage clothing. Let's see what this is about. And now malls are not the spot I usually would think of to do anything related to anything. Right, in my head, malls are best served for like merchandise, right? Like I'm going to like a Target in the mall to get things, or I'm going to, a store, maybe a Hot Topic, if this is 2004, and I'm getting a Fall Out Boy shirt, that's way too tight. Yeah, malls for me, like I don't know. I don't go there. Like I always see like the people who fix your phones, and like I see like setting up T-Mobile stuff. Like it's it's never for me like a service thing. I'm not going there to like get something done. I'm like getting there to buy something. That's just how I've seen malls. Like let me get an Auntie Anne's pretzel, like a cheddar garlic pretzel with nacho cheese and you know a Paramore wristband. Like that's it. But anyways, I saw this dude, and for some reason, I was like, you know what? I got like an hour to kill. Might as well. So my bar was pretty low. You know, I don't know who this is. You know, this is the first time I never even checked like a review or anything. Usually, I'm like, if I would have planned it, I would have like checked around. But I stumbled into it, right? And he looked friendly. And so I go in, I do the whole thing, you know, I think I took my shirt off, but I didn't like, you know, I didn't know what, it was my first, no, it wasn't my first massage, but it was just like, I don't know. I'm not going to take my shorts off at the mall. That's just, sue me, you know. I feel like the malls are like the one spot that like I definitely should keep my pants on. So I'm like shirtless, and he puts me on the chair or whatever. I don't know the terminology for massage either. You know, I've done maybe 4 or 5 in my life. But anyways, he starts massaging, and whatever that dude had in his hands, like his whatever like magic, like massage magic that guy was composed of, like because every single massage that I had beforehand, like I was like not fun. Like I don't get like those de-stressing properties out of massages. I just get more tense, and it plays in the factor of like I don't, you know, it's partially because, you know, like I said before, I don't have people touching me all the time, right? It's just like I don't. Even though my love language is physical touch, it's like that's just with like my significant other. That's who I'm with. Like, you know, there's that aspect of trust and like love, where like I know this person like pretty well. They can, you know, if you're with me, you're dating me, you got free access to me pretty much. You got, you know, I don't know if that's weird, but like I welcome all the touch, right? So I'm not like adverse to touch. I guess I am like in settings, like I don't, a man I've never met in a mall, and it's dark now suddenly. Like I was light out in this room, but now it's dark in this room. So it's like all these things are like stimulating my senses. I'm like, it's foreign to me. I'm like, what's going on? So like all the massages I had before were just like, for the most part, just uncomfortable. Like every once in a while they'd hit a spot and it'd be like, it feel good, or like it would hurt, or like, you know, but like there was never like an overwhelming like sense of like ease. But this dude, that's why it's sticking out. That's why I'm remembering this, and that's why I can recount it so well, is like this dude from jump like was just hitting the right spots. Like he just knew something. I don't know if it's like a natural gift or what, but this maybe his experience, but like this dude was hitting like the exact right spots. But it wasn't like he was applying more pressure. It wasn't like firmer is better. He just knew. So he was like just getting all these like pressure points. Like he was getting all this pressure off my body. Like just that was the first massage that I was ever like, yo, that makes sense. Like I get why people do this. Like that, it was like I still had like mild discomfort just because I'm in this setting, but he was so good that like I forgot. Like I didn't even care. It was like he knew, and it was also like he didn't try to make small talk with me, which is big. Like he was just did it. He just did the massage, and I didn't feel pressure to talk or whatever. And boy, I remember coming out of there and just like I forgot what day it was. I forgot what time it was. I was like, it was light when I came in. It was dark in this room, and it was light when I came out, and that messed me up. I was like, the sun's still up? And I was like, what is going on? I swear it should be like 10 p.m. at night, but it's like still 4 p.m. Like I was getting a massage for like an hour, but like time was different. Like I came out somehow like six years younger. Like it was Inception. I was like so confused. I was like just frazzled, but like I felt so good. Like I can remember just that feeling. I don't know if you're releasing like certain chemicals in your body or whatever. I don't know the science behind it, but I felt lighter, and I felt like refreshed. Like I just felt restored in a way that no massage had ever done before. Ever. And so yeah, that was an amazing experience. But never again have I had like a massage experience like that, you know. And like, and it was at a mall in Murfreesboro, like Tennessee, which is like not, if you like going through cities and towns that like you're gonna go A, to a mall, and then B, to get a massage at a mall, that's not higher on the list, my guy. Like it's just not. If you've been there, you know, it's like, that's not Nashville, that's not Franklin, that's like, you know, it's a difference. It's just, you know, not where I would think to get a massage, but I was wrong, you know. You know, my prejudice was 100% wrong. That's the best massage I've ever had, ever. So I've even had, I think I had one here in town, at the end of last year, so a few months ago, and it was just a regular one. Like it was average. Like the best thing about those was like the ambiance. Like the one in the mall, no ambiance. There was no, I don't even remember if there was music playing. There was definitely none of those like diffusers or like lights. It was just some room with like a curtain and a seat, like one of those like folding like laying things, that almost like a doctor's office. It might even had the wax paper over it. I can't remember. I might have been in a doctor's office, like an old one. I don't know. No ambiance. I could smell the pretzels being cooked in the courtyard, or the food court. You know, some Sparrow's pizza was probably burning in the back somewhere. But the best massage I've ever had. And the one down here, like the ambiance was perfect, like amazing, like meditative music and diffusers going and warm like lights that were like, and it was like the right amount of darkness for the room. Like they curated the area, right? But like that was one of the most uncomfortable. Like I haven't been back because it's just so uncomfortable. Like it's just like the woman who did it was like, I mean, it was alright, but it was just like every other one. It wasn't like special. Like for me, I guess it's got to be, I don't know. It's a fine line for me between like a good massage and major discomfort. Like it's a fine line, and it's like most just I can't get there. Cause that one was like the norm. It was massaging me, and like some parts felt good, some parts felt really uncomfortable, some parts like hurt, some parts tickled. Like I if it's not done, I guess the way I need it to be done, then I'm just in my head about it, like just like feeling ticklish and uncomfortable, and just like very aware that somebody else's hands are on me, you know. And they were always like, is that good right there? Is that good pressure? And I'm always like, yeah, even if it's not. Because I'm in this setting, and it's like now I'm in my boxers. It's like, what am I going to say, no? I mean, yeah, I should say no, and nothing's going to happen. But I'm always like, yeah, that's good. Like that. Yeah. Like, are we going to stop if you guys say yes? Like, or no? Like, I know they just go lighter, but like at the time, I'm like, I can do this. It's like a little bit of ego. Like I'm not perfect, you know. I got some ego in me, so I'm like, I don't care how much you push into me, I'm gonna take it. You know, I still got a little masculinity, or like, a little bit of ego in me. So I'm not proud of that. But yeah, I'm not gonna look like a punk in front of this masseuse. I'm a grown man with tattoos. But no, I should just be like, yo, nah. But it's tough because it's not like the pressure's not good. It's just no, this overall experience is not good. But I can't say that. I can't say like I want to leave right now, 5 minutes in this massage, because I don't know. There are some benefits. Like it does like relieve some pressure, and like it's nice. Like, and now I've got the spot in my back, like that. You have massage therapy every 2 weeks, life changing. I should. I just don't. Are they comfortable for you? Like, do you enjoy? Like, I don't know. I just can't get past the. I can't get out of my head for it. Like, it just makes me more uncomfortable being in that setting than than more comfortable. I think I said that right. I just feel so uncomfortable in that setting. But yeah, there's a spot on my back, like my lower back, that when I was younger, I pulled my back. Like I remember we were on a family trip to, it might have been actually here in North Carolina, I think the Outer Banks, and we had just got to the hotel, and I remember we were like pushing the carts, like the luggage carts, and like, so the elevator had like a step. It was weird. It was like, like the threshold of the lobby and the elevator was like a little raised, so you had to step into it, which it didn't make sense because like, how are you? So to get the luggage thing in, you had to kind of lift up a little bit, but the way I lifted up and the weight distribution, like I just did that real quick, and I felt this hot heat in my back, my lower back, and like this twinge, and I went down. And I was like, and the pain that sent through my body was like, I had never, like, keep in mind, I'm 19 or 20. Like the back problems are like, in my head, that you got to be in your 60s, like, to even get a hint of that, like, a hint of that little vertigo kind of situation. You just like, but like, I'm thinking like scoliosis is like a movie director, right? Like, I have no idea. I have no concept of like back pain, but like it hit me. I knew my mom got back pain, but like I was still so distant. Like she's a lot older than me, and like, but when I lifted that thing and felt that, I remember I was laid up for like the next 2 days, like it was blew my mind, because I'd never ever, like, apart being from like sick or like having the flu as a kid, I'd never just been laid up like in bed before. And I'll never forget, like, it was actually probably one of the best things, like best vacations, that little period of time, because my family would all go down, and I love my family dearly, but like I also love having my own space and my own time. So, they would go down, or like I'd be like laid up, right? I couldn't go anywhere, and they wanted to do all the stuff, like go to the pool and go to the restaurants and stuff like that. And like the first day, they were like super like, are you sure? Or we'll just stay here. And I was like, no, y'all do you, go do your thing. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna chill here, and I'm gonna watch, TV. I'm gonna watch Harry Potter. I think there's a marathon on. And so they got me food and stuff, and I just laid up in the hotel room. And that was probably the worst thing for me, because that made me enjoy. That was like the best 2 days like ever. Like that almost like that's a core memory that changed my perception of vacations. Because like, yo, here I am, like I want to explore North Carolina, but like a big part of me also wants to just chill in this hotel. Right? Like, it's a big reason why to this day, whenever I'm planning a long trip, like let's say I'm spending like a week at a hotel, maybe let's say I go to Orlando or whatever it is, I specifically have one day during that trip And this might kill the type A's out there but like I specifically choose one day, that's my puppy, where I just stay in the hotel room and I don't feel any guilt. I specifically, puppy, come here, bud. Come here. That's enough. You're just walking. Oh, it's kind of late. It's almost 10:30. Nashville, come on. Now. 3, 2. He got that last little bark in like a little a-hole. Hey, I heard that last little bark. Come on, bruh. My little guard dog. But I specifically choose one day. Like, it doesn't have to be planned to a T, but like I just know, like, okay, one day there's gonna be a day where I do not feel guilty about, not exploring the area or, rushing around doing things planned. One day I'm just gonna, if it happens, I'm just gonna lay in bed, sleep in. If there's a good movie on TV, I'm just gonna watch it. If I want to go take a bath in the jacuzzi, like for the afternoon, pretty much I'm gonna spend the entire day guilt-free at the hotel itself. Maybe I'll check out the pool. Maybe I'll just take a nap. Maybe I'll just 9 times out of 10 it's just laying in bed watching the TV. Because they always, for some reason, when you're on vacation, like the hotel movies are different. Like the ones, even if it's just like regular cable, for some reason it's like the best movies are on. Like vacation movies just are different. Like they're different. They feel different. If I was to watch them at home, I wouldn't probably watch them, or if they were on. But like when you're in that setting and you're in the hotel and they're on, it feels good. All right. So I think this time it was like Harry Potter. So I just binge watched like the whole Harry Potter's movies while I was laid up. And every once in a while, my mom would come back in, or somebody would come back in and be like check on me and drop off some food. And it was funny because my mom would she almost felt guilty, like she felt bad, but like I didn't want to tell her like, Mom, I'm having the time of my life. Like, yeah, this hurts so bad I can't move, but the introvert in me is loving this. Like, I'm just chilling. I don't have to like be carted around. Like, always on family vacations, there's a lot of things you want to do and there's a lot of things that you don't want to do, but you got to do them all for the most part until you're like grown. But so I didn't have to do I didn't get to do all the things I wanted to do, but I didn't have to do any things I didn't want to do. So I was just chilling. And anyways, I spent 2 days laid up. Just like couldn't move. Like sleeping was terrible. That was the worst part, was like trying to sleep with like just in, like if I moved even a hair, like my lower back would just seize up and just start. It was bad. But I ended up taking I don't take medicine like heavy. Like I don't like to dabble with anything heavier than like ibuprofen, or like Dayquil's about as heavy as I get. I don't even do NyQuil. I can't anymore. And we'll get into that. We'll get into that a whole other time, because that's spawned from something else that yeah, we'll get into that. 420 just passed, right? So I should have done it on 420. But anyway, so because of that lower back like thing, now whenever I get massages, they always focus, like they always, like when they start massaging me, it'll be normal, right? And then they'll, like I can feel them and they'll get to this spot like right in my lower right side, and they're always like And now when you're getting work done, when you're getting a massage or any kind of situation, if a professional who does this like for their living, if they make the sound, that's not good. You don't want to be in that setting and hearing those noises, that sigh, that like that question. That's like a audible question mark, right? And the first time I heard it, I was like, it was like the first massage I got after my back like did that. She was like, "Did you get injured?" and I had to like think back. Like at the time, I didn't know what was going on. And I was like, oh yeah, that spot. Yeah, I think that's when I threw my back out, but I didn't know that they could feel it. I didn't know that they could tell, and that actually blew my mind. I was like, I have never met this woman. She's just purely like going based on like the curvature of my my back and my muscles and my whatever they do. They're just going based on the feel and muscle and stuff. And she could tell like almost immediately when she went over that like something was different, like it was not normal. So I'm curious like what it really feels like back there, because like, you can never feel it like how they feel it. But so now every time I get a massage, I always get that whenever they're over that spot, and I just like smile to myself and I'm like, yeah. And then I always focus on it, and if that's the only spot in my whole massage that usually feels good, everything else just feels so uncomfortable. Very much enjoy hurts, but hurt that has never felt so good afterward. That's true. I feel like a loose noodle. Yeah. See, there is something to be said about that feeling after you're done, where it's like your body almost feels like, I don't know, it feels like a really good version of your body. Like it feels like you released all the best chemicals that you have, and you just feel like all the tension is out of your, like I did Pilates like a lot in college, and they do that exercise where you focus on your breathing, and mentally, like if you picture your body in whatever color it is, like if you haven't done a breathing exercise in a while, you picture yourself as like red, your whole, if you could like look down on your body and you see it just one color, just picture it red, and then you inhale and you exhale, and every breath you take turns that red into blue, right? So you're now just kind of exhaling all that redness, that stress, and replacing it with like that calm blue, that kind of exercise. And that's how it feels for me. Like after a massage, it feels like they've massaged all the red, all the like the bad toxins, the chemicals, even though I don't know what they're really doing, but it feels like they're just pushing all of that out, like all that negative energy, all that like and like it's now replaced with just like your natural state, your natural blue, and that wasn't a statement on political affiliations. That was just that's how I mentally view it, is either red, like red to blue is just, I don't know, hot to cold, I guess. But that loose noodle feeling is something else. It's just like I've only felt it that one time though, after that really good massage. Like I can still picture myself, like that's how good it was, like where I like it restored my faith in massages, is like I can picture walking out of the mall, and I've never walked out of the mall with that kind of smile, even after I left a Target after buying My Chemical Romance's album The Black Parade. Like I was pretty happy that day, but nothing tops that, just that glow of like that. I swear my skin felt better. My mind felt better after that massage. Just, I remember walking to the car, and I remember I was wearing, that's how like crucial it was to me. And I just felt like, it just felt good. Like, I didn't know that you could feel that just from touch, like from like that kind of touch. So that's cool. So I get it. I get the benefits. I get it. It's just I don't know how to reconcile that with just the sheer discomfort I feel when I'm in that setting. And part of me thinks it's like, what's it, immersion therapy, where you just go enough times and eventually you're like, you get comfortable with it. And maybe that's the case, but I don't, it's because I get so uncomfortable around it that I don't do it often. And that kind of feeds the fire, where it's like, I'll go maybe once every few years just to like remind myself, oh, is it worth it? And then it only has been worth it that one time. Like, matter of fact, I enjoy it more. This is going to sound weird, but like, I enjoyed the ambiance more than the massage. So like, if they had If they had specific places that were like massage places, but like the massage therapist never came in, right? Like maybe a discounted rate for like the massage therapist just like takes a smoke break for like those 40 minutes. So I just get to lay in the room with the diffuser and the meditation music. I just get to lay out and like maybe have some like oils on me, like, and maybe somebody comes by with like a spray bottle and just like sprays my back while I'm like laying there. That would be way more therapeutic for me. Way more calming, way more restorative. Like, is that a thing? I guess maybe like aromatherapy rooms or like I don't know. That would be something for me, where I could just lay out comfortably in a dark setting that's not in my space. So it's like different. It's different enough, but also, you know, and nobody's like touching me or nobody's like around. It's just me in an empty room with some candles and some music. Like, is that? Although I'd probably end up cutting on some like Mac Miller or something. I'd like hack the Wi-Fi and end up. But that honestly would probably be more relaxing for me. Because like I said, as soon as you introduce one other person to the room, I'm not gonna be at my peak comfort. And I feel like massages, you gotta be pretty comfortable to enjoy. Like just innately, you gotta be in a good mindset. And it also does not help that I'm so ticklish. Like we talked about a little bit when I was talking about tattoos, but like your boy is ticklish. Like my feet are ticklish. My stomach, my abdominal area is super ticklish, but my back is like completely ticklish. Like it's just, oh man, I get, even just now I'm like I love, it's so weird because I love when I'm with a partner and like if they like rub my back or like if they give me the back scratches, like I love that feels really good. But like if like just some strangers touching my back, it's almost always ticklish. Like it's always just, I don't know what it is. So that doesn't help because a main part of like a big part of my body is ticklish. So no matter where they're touching, it's like it's gonna tickle. And it's just like if I'm ticklish, if I'm like feeling tickled, then I am the opposite of comfortable. Right? Who out there is like comfortable as they're being tickled? Like nobody. That's not fun. That's not fun. Your spot is lower left back and hamstring. Lower left back and hamstring. Hamstring's the back of the thigh, right? Oh, okay. Was that like injury related or just like natural, just spots? I feel like I can do like butt and back of the leg. Like legs for me are good until, no, legs are pretty good for me. But then as soon as you start getting like my ankles, and I start getting ticklish, and it's like, ooh. I could do like a lower body massage probably, because everything up here is like ticklish. And it's like getting a massage is not the place that I want to like find out how ticklish I am. All right, that's not enough people touch me to where I realize like just how ticklish I am, or like I'll forget over time like just how ticklish I am. And then I'll be on the massage bed and they'll start like rubbing my tricep in a weird way that I've never felt before or haven't felt in like ages, and like then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that's ticklish. And then it's like, and then I'm not having fun. And that's usually like about 3 minutes in, and it's no bueno. It's no bueno for me. Like it's one thing that like in my head sounds so lovely, sounds so wonderful. Like if I had the bank account like that, I would get massages every day, like in my head, or like every week, like make it a weekend thing. Like, it seems like right up my alley for like self-care. Like, you know, it just sounds so nice, but in practice for me, I just do not enjoy them like that. I just can't, like, I just can't get comfortable in it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Um, Speaking of massages, man, I remember dating this girl, and look, I think the key to a good relationship is balance. And balance in massages, man. If I give you a massage every time you ask, but you don't give me any massages every time I ask, that's not balance. That's, I don't know why that hit me just now, but for anyone out there in relationships, like, that's the key for me. Like, if I ask for a massage, it's cool if you don't want to give it, but like, if you get upset when I don't give you a massage when I'm not feeling it, like, come on, y'all. Come on, balance. It's gotta be balanced. I don't know. I don't know, cause I love getting massages from like who, like if I'm dating somebody, I love, cause like I said, physical touches. That's my favorite. Physical touch and I think quality time are like my two like primary love languages. So I love, like I said, I'm all up on you if I'm dating you, and like I love when who I'm dating, like I love when they're all up on me, and I love massages and things like that. Like I like massages too. In that setting, if it's someone I care about and someone I trust and someone I love, like if their hands on me, like that's relaxing. Then I understand. Then I get it. Then I'm like, okay, you know, like then it's like then I'm at my peak comfort, and like I can let my guard down and I can like start to enjoy it, and like the feeling of their hands on my body is like enjoyable. You know, I do like that. I'm just saying, if I'm giving you 10 massages and you giving me half a massage, that's not balanced. That's not balanced. Um, hey, what's up, Sandy? We're talking about massages. I don't know how we ended up talking about massages somehow. I think it was because we were talking about self-care and manicure, so I think that we connected the dots. How you doing tonight? IDK, I think because of sports and cheer in high school. Oh, that makes sense. Nothing really specific ever happened that I can remember. I just woke up stuck to my left for a couple days. That shot down my. Oh no! Ooh, that shot down the leg. Ooh. Dang it! I remember you cheered. That I can't imagine like all the stress that puts on your body. Like I just don't think most of us think about that. Like if you haven't cheered, you don't know, but like I'm sure that takes a toll on your body. But ooh, I can almost feel that twinge, that like man. So I bet that feels, but like how does it, do you feel like comfortable in like the massage setting? Like have you always felt comfortable in that? Or did it take some getting used to, or are you still not? Like I guess where do you lie on that? Like, cause me, it's not like the most uncomfortable thing, but like I definitely can't get to a place in my head where I'm comfortable. Like even I've tried so hard to just like I said, I'm not an overthinker. It's just like when I'm uncomfortable, I can't. It is just you can't shut it off, right? I don't know if anyone can like flip that switch and be like, okay, now I'm comfortable. No, it's just like you just the. I can't get to a place in my head to make it comfortable for me, I guess. No matter how like I imagine these places are pretty comfortable for everybody else. Like it's dimly lit, the music is a vibe, you got a comfortable seat, you got a towel draped over you, it's usually warm. If in my head it seems like I should be like really comfortable, but nah, is not that. Ooh, I can vividly remember the last time I got a massage, and I was like, I remember, I think it was like a, I think it was only like a 45-minute session, but I remember thinking, and like probably minute 15, I was like, I want to go. I want to be out of here. Like I almost. She was like working some part of my. I think she was working my like shoulders pretty for like steadily, and I was feeling ticklish, and I was feeling just like uncomfortable, and I was like, I almost was like, you know what, I'm good. Yeah, I'm actually I gotta go. She was like working that tricep, and I was like, I never really finished The Office. Like The Office, I gotta go catch up and see what Michael Scott's up to. He's starting his own paper company, and I want to really like dive in and see how he does. It's him and Pam and Ryan, and it's like I'm rooting for him. This is not it right now. I gotta. Um, but then like right at that time, like I was like about a few seconds away from like saying, I'm done. And she just like happened to move. She was like moving down to like even a more uncomfortable spot to my lower back. So like she moved, and like that got my mind thinking about something else. And like I was like, nothing weird. It was just like I when you're uncomfortable in one spot for so long, you just like can't take it. You're just like, I'm done. But then she moved, and then I was like, okay. The relief of like no longer being on that spot was like, okay, all right, I can do this for a little bit longer. But it's just like I don't. How was the anime movie night? You know what? It was not bad. It was not bad. I I ended up watching Kiki's Delivery Service, and then I started watching a little bit of Howl's Moving Castle. But have you seen Howl's? I love Howl's. That's one of my favorites. But so I'm learning piano now, and I started watching Howl's, but the piano in it was too it caught my ear. Like that's the thing that sucks about like trying to learn instruments, is like then you hear them everywhere, and like I wanted to play that theme so bad, so I stopped watching Howl's and started learning the piano theme on that. And but it was good. It was good, and I'm like, I got the right hand down on that. It's pretty. It's pretty. But yeah, anime night was a lot of fun. It was cool. Did you watch any anime? Did you watch any studio? You know what? I googled how to pronounce studio. Now the thing is, it's one of those things. I googled it, and now I'm even less sure about how to pronounce it, because in Japanese it's Ghibli, but in English we pronounce it Ghibli. So it's like one is still Ghibli and one is Ghibli. It's like the GIF situation. Like these. Is it a hard G? Is it a soft G? Is it a J? I don't know, man. I tried to figure it out. So now I'm just gonna go back and forth between Studio Ghibli and Studio Ghibli, whichever one I'm feeling it that day. But anyways, yeah. Have you seen Howl's? I love that one. No, it took you a few times to find your girl, and now you're comfortable with her. Like I told her, I have had massage and always left hurting still. Oh, she had to bring in special cups for you? No way. Okay, maybe that's the key, is finding someone you're comfortable with. I guess that's a big thing, huh? That makes sense. That makes sense. I guess I'm never in the city long enough to like develop a relationship with a masseuse. Um, but that makes complete sense. Like I'm glad to know that. Like maybe that gives me some hope that like maybe it's just I need to find the right like fit. Cause like obviously, in my head I know that like not all masseuses are the same, but like if I'm having all the similar reactions with each one, like I start to like internalize it and start to be like, well, maybe it's just me. I don't like massages. Maybe I never really think about like maybe I'm just not vibing with this person, or their style, or their communication, or you know. So that's good to know. That is good to know that it took you a little bit to find, because maybe that's all I need is just the right fit. But you got some special cups? That's cool. That's funny. Like what kind of cups? Like suction cups or like drinking cups? Um, but yeah, I really I don't know. Like I said, I think I would love, in theory, massages sound perfect, but in practice, we talking about practice. Like it ain't for me. You gonna watch Kiki's tonight? Yes. Ghibli. Now are you saying Ghibli or Ghibli? Ghibli. Now we throw in a third option in there. So we got Ghibli, Ghibli, Ghibli. What about Ghibli? We in it. We in it. We got all the formations of it. But no way, you're gonna watch Kiki's? Oh my goodness, Kiki's delivery service is a massage for my eyeballs. Like the soundtrack, the voice acting, the story, the animation, everything about that makes me feel better. Like, for those of you who've seen Kiki's delivery service, you know, but like everyone who, if you haven't watched it, that's the first one I recommend for, like, you know, because it's so easy to follow. It's so easy to, like, you know, get into, and it's just like a heartwarming story, and it's just like the vibe is just immaculate, and it feels like watching that movie feels like watching that movie feels like how you feel when you're in a cafe, if that makes any sense. I can't explain it. It's just the way it feels. It just is. It's nice. Kiki's has long been, that's my favorite Studio Ghibli. Is that the one? Is that the one we're going with? Ghibli? That's my favorite, hands down. It's the one I come back to over and over again. I love them all. Princess Mononoke is probably my second favorite. I love Ponyo. Howl's, I always forget about Howl's, but Howl's is like, every time I watch it, I'm like, this is like my favorite. But Kiki's is hands down my favorite. I got a Gigi tattoo. I got Gigi tattooed on my ankle. You can't really see it. I don't know if you can see my leg, but I got Gigi tattooed on my ankle, and he peeks out of my socks. Like when I have my long socks, it's cute. Like that's why I got him there. A actually did this tattoo, and it's one of my favorites because, let me see if you can see this. Let me try. You can't. Oh my bad. You can't see. You can't see. Like right there, GG. It's tough. But yeah, I love it because he peeks out of my socks. He's sitting on a pumpkin, and like a Halloween pumpkin. So it's like both my love of Kiki's delivery service and my love of Halloween. It's the first tattoo I think A did for me. But yeah, it's like the socks, so you can't see it, but like most of the time my socks are here, and Gigi's head, like smiling face, is like here. So it's like he's just peeking out of my socks, and like sometimes like I look down while I'm getting dressed, or like if I'm just sitting in the right position and I see him peeking up, and it makes me smile. It's like I'm all for tattoos that make you smile, or little things that make you smile, and that one was like one of the best tattoos I ever got, because the amount of joy it brings me when I just look down and I see this cat smiling is phenomenal, and I can almost hear his voice. But yeah, so Kiki's is hands down my favorite. I love that one. That one doesn't do happy ending. Oh, the one that doesn't do happy ending? Yeah. Big vibe person. I don't, everyone's vibe. Yeah. That makes sense. Vibes. That makes sense. I'm a big vibe person too, so maybe probably a big part of it. 100%. Where do I watch my anime? I watch it usually. I've got most of these on either like a hard drive. Like they like get in my, what's it called? My library so much. Like I could stream them places. I don't know where Studio Ghibli is streaming nowadays. Because I keep all of these like backed up on my computers. Like I just love them so much that I've just probably way back in the day I download them, or had my pops download them for me, and I just have them. I kept them because I watch them over and over and over again. But so yeah, they're just always there for me. Like I always like it's so comforting because like I know if I'm not feeling anything streaming, like I'm not feeling any Netflix, not feeling anything, like I can always just fall back and like on my computer I got, Kiki's, I got Howls, I got Ponyo, Spirited Away is on there. Oh, I love Spirited Away. Oh man, the more we're talking about this, the more like I want to watch those. Like those are prime Sunday night watches. Like how Sunday night movies just feel different. Studio Ghibli's movies like are just perfect for that. It's just like it fills you with whimsy before like the start of your week. The Cat Returns. Yeah, GG Tattoo. Yeah. See, I'm sorry. I'll get better with reading chat. I get so lost in my stories that I miss the conversations before. But yeah, I got my GG Tattoo, and it makes me smile. Suction cups is called cupping therapy. It brings your blood to the surface oxygen to help recover, be more instant. Massage in general helps bring blood and oxygen to the surface to aid. Oh, nice, right? Suction cups. Okay. Help muscle recover instantly, where massage does the same thing but slower. Okay, we're out here learning things. I like that you brought some science to it. Blood and oxygen to the surface. Interesting. Now, suction, that's funny that you got your own suction cups. That's pretty cool. I looked into suction, but like it kind of freaked me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm very much, I gotta keep the blood we gotta keep the blood where it's at, right? I like to think my body's doing a good job, just keeping that blood right at the right level, right? I don't want to bring it anywhere I don't need it to be, I don't need that blood on this patch of my thigh. No, that's just jokes. I get it. I get like the benefits. It just did really freak me out when I was afraid. I remember reading something about suction where it's like an adverse like effect or something, and it kind of freaked me out, just like because I was gonna do it this place I got the massage at, and I just decided not to because I can't remember what it was, but there was something about it that like kind of freaked me out a little bit. It's like, what? Nah, I'm good. Like, especially I've got to trust that. Like you write about the vibes. Like I gotta know who I'm with, and I gotta feel comfortable. Like it can't be one of those things that's not like a first session kind of thing, or even like a first 5 sessions for me. Like I gotta like know how this person is and what their style is, and like how knowledgeable they are. I gotta like feel them out first before like I'm letting them like place anything suction related on my body, right? Or any if you use any external devices, that's like a second date situation. That's a follow-up kind of situation. But that's cool. How is suction therapy? Like, is that like, does it feel any better, or does it feel any different than like regular massage? Because I know you said it does it faster. Does it feel the same in total, or I guess what's the end feeling like? Oh, Tubi? Oh, let's have an anime watch party. Oh, you are not lying. We should do that. Oh my goodness, on Tubi? Yo, Sandy, I like the way you think. That's amazing. We should do an anime watch party and watch like, I would love to watch some Howl's Moving Castle on there. I would love. We should do that. Oh man, I like the way you think. We should do like a, I don't know, like a Sunday evening anime watch party. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun. And we could watch it and vibe out together and like talk about the favorite parts and stuff and how good the food looks and yeah. No, hey, you are onto something. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're gonna put that in the back pocket and I think we might need to make that happen because that is a great idea. That just kind of made me excited. Oh, I'd be so down for that. I'd be so down. Oh man, okay. That'll definitely be one thing, like something I'll like plan for. I'll like plan it in advance and get everything ready and all you gotta bring is your like some popcorn and some cozy blankets and we'll cut on some good anime and yeah. I think we'll probably do Studio Ghibli because that's what's like Ghibli. We'll put on some of those movies just because it's so feel good. And I don't want to get like entrenched in like a heavy anime or like a I don't know, like Hunter x Hunter or something like where it's like hit or miss or just kind of boring. Like at least I know with like Kiki's Delivery Service or something that it's just like I love the feeling of it. But yeah, great idea. I think we're gonna do that sometime in the future. So let me think on that. But I love that idea. That'd be fun. Man, we covered a lot. We went over some yeah, right. It will be. I know. I can't wait too. That'd be so much fun. That's such a good idea. That is such a good idea. But yeah, we went over we went from. It's crazy how much I can talk about with just chatting. Like I didn't even. It like blows my mind because like when I first started today, I was like, I almost had this like thought and like, what if I run out of things to say, or when I don't have a specific topic or goal, I guess for some reason it's tough for my mind to like stick or like kind of go, like it's easier for me if I have just like a rough idea of like where we're going for me to just like navigate. And I don't know if anyone else is like that. Some people are just good off I'm good off the cuff too, but I also like a little outline to kind of guide me. It's like almost, it's weird. It's a weird thing. Like the outline almost provides more freedom. Like it provides more content, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't know what the best way to put it is, but when it's just like everything's on the table, it almost limits me. It restricts me. But like if I have like a path to go down, it's like, oh, we can go down this path for days. Like, so I was worried that like when I do just chatting, it's like, well, I'm gonna talk about our days and we're gonna, but like, it's been what? It's almost 3 hours. We're almost at 3 hours, and we are just chatting about life and about things, and like I could go on for hours about just the stuff that I'm thinking about and massages. I mean, it is crazy. Yeah, and your cuddle buddies. Yeah, get them all snuggled up with you. Get them all. I'll bring Nashville in here when all the pets can like meet each other. You can get your cats and your puppies and just kind of get them all like hanging around you with some big blankets. And like I'll have Nashville. Maybe I'll do it in a different room so I get the sofa or something and he'll just come snuggle because my pup, that's the one thing I love about him. Like I love so many things about him. But the one thing like I adore is something I never thought I would adore about him is when he was a puppy, he did not want to snuggle with me. He was very like, I had another Australian Shepherd growing when I was Sawyer. I've talked about him before, but Sawyer was not a snuggler. He was very much like, I would call him up to me, and he would snuggle with me for like 5 minutes to appease me, just because he knew I loved it. And then he would just end up going away and laying on the floor. Like, he was not a snuggler. And when I got Nashville, and he's the same breed, he was a puppy, and he would do the same thing. He would snuggle with me for like a few minutes, and then he would go do his own thing or lay on the, And so I was just like, you know what? I guess that's just a breed thing. I guess Australian Shepherds are just not very cuddly. But boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Something happened. I don't know what it was. It might have to do with the fact when he was a really, really little, but like real little puppy, I would go in to his little kennel area and just snuggle him right here and just have him snuggled with me while he fell asleep. And I didn't really plan on doing that because I wanted him to like get used to being by himself, so he could like not form like attachment, issues and abandonment issues and stuff. But like I couldn't help it. He was so snuggly. Like he was so like when he was sleepy, he would just like lay wherever, right? So I would just put him on me, like just as a baby. And then when he was, like I said, the puppy stage, wasn't clingy at all. He was not snuggling. He was too interested in things going on. But then just after his puppy days, he would snuggle with me, and he wouldn't want to do anything else but snuggle with me. And that's where he's at now, where it's like he always got to be laying on me. He always got to I joke that he's always got to have some paw or like something on me, like touching me. Like it's just his physical touch is his love language too. Like I adore it. Like I never thought I wanted a clingy puppy, because I am not a clingy person. He just wherever I'm at, he just loves to lay on top of me. Like he's like the best weighted blanket. He just like, like he just likes to snuggle. So I'll have him with me, and if I lay on the couch, it's guaranteed he's gonna lay on top of me. And we'll do some anime night. We'll do some kikis and some ponyo. When they move the cups around, it breaks up the fascia, a thin connective tissue, and you just feel so loose. Let's watch Totoro. Yeah, tomorrow for the watch party. Those are my cats. Yes. No, I like that Totoro. I can never say it right either. I'm bad at pronouncing things, but oh my goodness, that would be so much fun. I love that one. I always forget about that one too. That's a good one. Those are your cats? Are they? That's awesome. That's awesome to picture. Like, do you picture them? Like, that's so cool. Fascia. That sounds weird. That sounds cool though. That's wild. Breaks up the thin connective tissue. That's crazy. So it's like, oh man, that's so wild. Like what it's actually doing in your body. Because that's crazy. I maybe I need to watch like a YouTube video on it, like a diagram. Like I need to know what's going on. I'm very visual, so I need to see like what's happening. That's wild. Does it feel good? I'm assuming it does. Otherwise, like why would people do it? But then you have like all these brown, like these red and like brown spots, right, all over your body. Like you look like a twister mat, like kind of like right foot brown, left foot purple. But I've always thought, I looked into it and it freaked me out. Also acupuncture. Have you guys done acupuncture? Like that one, I would, as weird as it sounds, I would be more apt to do acupuncture than I would cupping. Because something freaks me out about cupping and bringing like the blood to the, I don't know, whatever, I don't know. Just mentally that like freaks me out. But like, I have no problem with someone like putting like needles in, like I look at my tattoos. I know it's different because it's not going in your skin, but like I have no problem with needles or like things going into pressure points. Like for some reason that seems way more like relieving. I always like, I know this is not the way the body works, as we've found out through the medieval ages, but like, those diagrams in like the medieval ages where like they thought that like if you had a really bad headache, right? If you had a bad headache, they would put your head in a clamp, and they would like turn on like a pin needle or something, and like bore a hole into your brain to relieve the pressure, right? And I know like that ended up like killing people and like giving people like severe brain damage, but like the concept of that seems nice, right? Despite the outcome, yeah, that sucks. Like that, we found out that that's not how it really works, right? But like just the thought of like you have a headache, and then you just like poke a hole in and just kind of let the gas out, right? Let the bad thoughts and negativity and the head boo boos just to disappear, right? Because we do that with other things, If things are like, if you got an abscess, sorry if you're eating, but like if you have abscess, you like relieve the pressure, you poke it and relieve the, right? So like, so just like that with like acupuncture, I think of like maybe I have a buildup of like pressure in my arteries or whatever, and I don't know how it works. I've never done it, but like it just feels nice to think that, oh, they put something in and it kind of like moves things or like releases something, maybe I'm just like a ball of gas, like a star, and then you just like press them into me and it just like right, and I just release this like these toxins, and I'm just like I deflate, like that one like gel commercial, like the anti-smoking, where like it's just like that little pin cushion who's like flattened. It's like a human. It's like, what was that? That was weird. I don't know if you remember that, but that's how I picture acupuncture would be to me. Like I'd finish up and I'd just be flat, like released all my my gas, like released all my like badness. I know that's not scientific. I know that's not how it works. I know that if you bore a hole in your brain, you're probably gonna go night night. I know that, but I always resonated, like that concept always resonated with me. It's like, yeah, what if that was the case though? Like before we had this technology and before we knew how brains sort of worked, why not just poke a hole in your head and let the pain out? Right? Like that just seems plausible. Like I said, we do it with everything else, so like why not? But I always thought like, man, that'd be nice. That really would be nice. Yeah, I asked so many questions because I was nervous, but breaking up the fascia hurts so good. But when they're stationary, they're all right. Oh, hurts so good. Okay. Hurts so good. I could get behind that. But, now how many cups are we talking? Like, are we talking more than a dozen cups? Because like, I feel like I have a limit. I can only have like maybe a dozen cups. Like and that seems like a lot for me. I don't know. And are they like large cups? Or are they like shot glasses? Like, cause I'm a lightweight. So does that play into factor? I bet that I could get behind that. Like I said, yeah, I get that. Like I was nervous too. Like I didn't even. That's why I haven't done it. It's because I'm nervous about it. Like I don't know enough, and I don't have like someone I trust to do it to me. Maybe I just need to go to the mall again. Maybe that's the key. Is just go to any place in the mall, any place where they have like hot dogs wrapped in like some kind of breading. Maybe that's the trick. Anywhere there's a JC Penney, there's got to be a good masseuse. Maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the secret. And I would do some cupping there, and maybe I'll get some acupuncture. and acupuncture from the guy at the mall. Like, that sounds good. That sounds safe. I don't know. I don't know. My neighbor Totoro. Totoro. I think it's Totoro. Totoro. I can't remember actually. It's like I remember these things and then I come here and then I don't. It sounds weird now. My neighbor Totoro. That would be a good one. That I like that idea. Anime night for the win. That'd be cozy. That'd be, you know what? Let's do it. It probably won't be this weekend, but one of these weekends we're gonna do that and just chat about them, and that'd be fun. It'd give me an excuse to break out the popcorn, because I'm not a big popcorn fan, but every once in a while I like it. Man, this has been fun. I could honestly keep going. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. We at 3 hours. I should probably go get some food. Honestly, it's about midnight here, and I wanted to read some more Jane Eyre, but I'm getting sleepy, and I want to finish this. I've had 3 or 4 at once, and IDK like a poem size. Okay, you know what? I could do that. 3 or 4. Okay. I have so many questions. I'll probably I might have to ask you about that, because I got so many questions in my head. But like, also I should probably ask like, masseuse as well. Like, but then honestly, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna go see masseuse. Like, I keep getting these emails. I got put on the email list for this place I went to, because like a fool, I gave them my email address. So now I get emails like every week, and somehow they got my home address. I don't remember if I put my home address on there, but somehow I keep getting these things in the mail about, new members and all this stuff, and like, come and see us today, 10% off. I'm like, so anyways, I'm getting inundated with all these like flyers and things, and it's like, to be honest, I don't know when I'm gonna get a massage next. Like, I thought about it, but even when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, nah. It's just, I don't know. I'd be curious. Does anybody else like feel that? Like, but Marisol, that makes sense. It's like, you gotta find someone you're vibing with. You gotta find someone that like makes you feel comfortable, or like that you feel comfortable with. Like, that's gotta be. Because does anybody like feel comfortable from jump at those things? I don't know. My brain's starting to spiral. You can tell when. There's one thing about me, like, you can tell when I get sleepy. I've never been able to hide it. Like, my voice starts getting a little raspy, but then like, you can tell like something in my face, just my eyes get sleepy, and I've never, since I was a kid, I've never been able to hide when I'm sleepy. Like, as soon as it comes, people are like, "Oh, Chris, you need to go to bed, bro." But acupuncture scares you? I get it done at my chiropractor's office. Okay. Now, chiropractors, I need to get into that too. There's so much but there's also like, for me, it's got to be a level of trust, which I'm sure it is for you too. Like, it's got to be like, but I don't know. I feel like in another life I would have been all about it, but in this one I just don't. It's just not where my comfort level lies. Like, I don't want people cracking my. I don't ever want to have someone who like touch my body and then my body cracks. If that makes sense. Like, I don't want like somebody who's like pressed their like hand on my spine and it just like I don't want that ever. And I know that's like a lot of my friends, like, actually, that's like, they want, like, they always, like, they want, like, somebody to step on their back, or like someone to, like, do that crack thing, and like that feels good to them, but like that doesn't feel good to me. I've never been like a knuckle popper. I don't even I can't pop my knuckles. I never, I don't feel comfort from like the release of whatever that is. I just feel like I want my bones to stay where they're at. I want everything in place. All right. I want my blood where my blood is, and I want my bones where my bones are. And anybody who's gonna alter that, I'm wary of. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just something that's I don't, honestly, this is the most I've thought about it. So we're dissecting a lot. So I apologize if we're all over the place, and I'm like, but I don't really, this is about as deep as I've ever gotten into like talking about massages and chiropractors. But I don't know. It's just never, the thought of someone like pressing onto my body and me hearing anything more than like silence freaks me out. Like, I don't want to hear things when someone's pressing me. Like, I don't want, like, those southern, like, I can't even watch those on Snapchat. Or like, they have those stories where it's like, guy gets intense crack from doctor. Well, that sounds like drugs, but or like those kind of things. Like, they pull the leg. It feels like, it looks like they're pulling it out of the socket, but they crack it. And then the person just has like immediate relief, and then like it looks like they feel so good, but like, me knowing me, I would just feel hollow. Like, I would feel that like something not good. It would just feel like, no, like I said, my bones are where they are. Like, I feel like when I was born, my bones were kind of put there, right? My blood was kind of put there. And then my skin was kind of like just puttied around all that, right? And just kind of locked it in. And that's it. Like, that's about, they just kind of stayed, and that's how they're going to stay for like the next 30, 40 years. It's like, they're just kind of genuinely like where they are is where they're going to be. I don't want to be 80 and like suddenly one of my vertebrae is like somewhere else, right? Even if it's like moved up just slightly, I'm good. I don't need that. I just keep it. I keep it good. I keep it there. I don't want my body just freestyling. I don't want my bones just kind of coming up with their own thing, and I don't want like any outside influence on my, on what they're doing. But the thing is, like, I get why people do it. Like, that's the thing. I'm not bashing it, like, because I just know, for me personally, it makes me like peak uncomfortable. But like, I get, like, it looks like it's, if I could take myself out of it and like just look at it purely based on what they're experiencing, that looks like relief. I can imagine if you had just like this soreness in your, your shoulder for months or years, and like somebody can come in and just like realign it, or like, that sounds so nice to me. Like, what if I'm walking around with all this, like, what if I'm out of socket, out of joint, out of alignment, and somebody could come in and just tweak it just a little bit, and now I'm like, oh, right? Because we put our bodies through all these like unnatural positions, or sitting, and like all these things, we're putting all this like invisible wear and tear on our bones and things, and like, I could be way out of line, right? I could be like, I could get that. I got that spaghetti spine maybe, but it just freaks me out to think that like if somebody could and just like have that kind of an effect on my skeletal structure. I know. I didn't mean to take it to the comedy world, but like, I don't know. That's just how my brain works. Is once we start talking about things that I get nervous about, then I resort to making it funny. sometimes. But acupuncture does scare me too. It's why I've never done it. It's like I said, I'd be more apt to do that than I would cupping. Mainly because with acupuncture, I'm pretty sure the blood stays where it's at, right? It just stays there. Like that's a big thing for me. It's like if it's there, if it was put there, it's gonna stay there. So with the needles, at least, I don't know if any blood comes out. If so, I am okay with like a little bit, but like a cup sized might be too much for me. Not like you fill a cup, but like I know what you mean. I know the general idea of cupping. But I don't know. I don't know if I honestly. I think a manicure was a good step forward for me. I think that was a good learning process for me. It was a good toe in the water, for lack of a better pun. But pedicures are definitely on the table. That's the next step. I think maybe I'll do a few more manicures just to get comfortable in the setting, and then I'll do a pedicure. So Marisol, if you're trying to do some pedicures, man, I'm down to get one with you. That'd be fun. And just kind of, I don't know. Life's all about doing new things and experiencing things that you never really thought you'd do. Not that I never thought I'd get a manicure, but like it wasn't high on the list, right? There's so many more things I'd, want to do before, but it just was there, and I'm glad I did it. I'm glad that it's an experience I now have in my life that, if anything, it's just I can say I did it, but also it's just nice to know, like, nice to experience things. Because that's all life is, really, is just experiencing things, right? The good or the bad, or the mundane or the average. It's just experience them and go from there. Probably the last thing I'll get into, because this will be a good one. I'm glad. I like this. I don't know. Something feels good about this one. So for any of the VOD watchers, man, you got about 3.5 hours of some cozy comfiness today. So I'm glad. Like I said before, I really like the longer ones, because that kind of, it opens my mind up a little bit, where I kind of, I don't know, it's something I've been realizing more, is like the longer I go, the more my brain kind of just opens up, and I kind of get into that groove, and my humor starts kind of blossoming, and I got more to pull from, and my humor is very, very, very reliant on callbacks, right? So even in my day-to-day, like, that's my one claim to fame is in my humor, is like I'll reference something from a previous topic that we've talked about. Like that's where I get my laughs from, is so that's what I found in like the longer ones, is I have more to draw from, and more I let myself kind of get comfortable, and it always takes a little warming up, I guess, is what I'm finding. But also I love knowing that, like, you can listen to me, or you can listen to this, not me, that sounds like egotistical. I don't care if it's my voice, really, but like that you have something that you can listen to for a few hours while you're at work, or if you're on a long trip, or if you just need somebody to listen to while you're trying to fall asleep. I've actually been thinking about one thing I might end up doing, is making a now I don't know if this is weird, I don't know if anybody even be into this, but thinking about making like an ASMR group of videos for sleeping, because that's big for me. It's like I looked for some for like me, like to help, but like I couldn't really find it. All of them were like kind of, I don't want to say weird, but a lot of them were like just not what I'm looking for. A lot of them were like almost like, they almost felt, I don't know how to explain them without, I would have to bring one of them up, but like they were like, the title would be like, your sympathetic girlfriend helps you through a stressful day, or something like that, or a stressful night, and it'd be like this really like this girl's talking in a voice and saying, "Oh, honey, it's okay, you're okay. I'm sorry." Like it just. I guess that's. I'm not judging. Like that's. I feel like that could be cool in some settings. Like it could help, I think, but it just wasn't. It's not my speed, right? It's not. You know, it's not really what would help me fall asleep, right? I don't. But I thought I've been entertaining the thought of like doing a set of videos for anybody out there who like maybe has trouble sleeping, or like maybe just like I said, I live alone and I do a lot of stuff by myself. So like I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes I do get lonely. So sometimes it's just nice to have a voice to listen to. Where I think humans in general are like very, we like companionship and we like just hearing a soothing, friendly voice. Especially in the nighttime. When it's dark and like that's when the scariness is usually there. So I don't know. It's something I might do is like just where I kind of more along the lines of like, hey, I don't know. I don't even know what I'd say, what the script would be, but it'd be more like a friendly conversation, or like maybe I would dive into more like, kind of that what I was just describing, but not in like such a weird kind of babying kind of way. Like, cause those were all like, it's okay, baby, it's okay, honey, like you're okay. Like, it was like more like, I can't explain it, but it'd be more like a regular kind of, what's the best way to put it? Like if you had somebody there with you while you're trying to fall asleep, and it's my voice, and I'm just saying, hey, you know what? I know you had a tough day, and there'd be like different topics, right? So like, let's say you had a tough day at work, you could put this one and be like, hey, tell me about your day. Tell me about the tough thing that you went through. I'm sorry that, like, things like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just exactly what I said I didn't want to do. I don't know. It's just like a baby thought in my brain right now. Did you ever use the chair in school to crack your back? I did not. I was the kid that was like, guys, should we be doing this? Like, we are not trained professionals. We are 11 years old. And this is before YouTube, so we didn't even know if we were doing it right. We were just doing it based on the person who did it before us and just trusting that they were right. Right. No, I didn't. I did not do the chair on the back thing. Like, that freaked me out. Like, I was like, what if you crack it in the wrong way, and now guess what? Like, you never know. I don't know. I didn't know. There's so much about the inside of the body. Even though I took biology, like, there's so much about the inside of the body I still don't understand. Like, the fact that we have 206 bones, and I haven't seen one of those bones with my own eyes. That's crazy. Like I said, I'm visual. And so the fact that I have never even seen, I've broken some bones too, and I've never even seen with my own eyeballs, my own bones. That's frightening to me. Like, that's more frightening than the depths of the ocean. I don't know. But no, I did not do the chair crack. Did you do it? I just couldn't. Anything like that. Whenever someone's like, all my friends would do that whole where, usually it's me, because I'm like, well, not when I was a kid, but nowadays, like, I'm strong enough to like lift a lot of people up. So it's like, I'm the one that does the cracking, but like, even when I'm doing it, I'm like, I shouldn't be doing this. I don't know how to do this. But then I get it to crack, and they say it feels better. But I'm never the one who I don't want that done to me. Like, I never have. Maybe one time when I was with my brothers, they did it to me. But like, it's not something I would do twice. But you got a girl for that too? Okay, bet. Because that's one of those things you're gonna have to teach. I don't know anything. I've never gone through the process. Do you soak your feet? I don't know what that's. Maybe it's just exactly like manicure, but for your feet. I don't know. It'd be fun though. I'm down. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What was I talking about before? Oh, ASMR stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna float that idea around in my brain some more, and because it is, the thought of it, like, as if it's well done, the thought of it is so nice to me. Like, for especially for people out there, like a lot of us are single. Like a lot of us, don't necessarily have somebody to talk to. Like at the end of the day, right? Unless you're, I don't know, you can talk on the phone, but even that's not quite the same. I guess it is the same, right? But it's not. It's, I don't know. But the thought of like, helping somebody out who maybe feeling lonely, and kind of my voice just talking them through stuff, or really like being a warm presence for someone who's not feeling the best at the moment, like. And I can draw from a lot because I mean I've got depression, so it's like I've got you know I've had the depths of that, so I know kind of what that feels like, and what you want, what at least what I'd want somebody to say to me in those moments or in those nights. So I don't know. It'd be kind of, I don't know. I'm saying I don't know a lot. It's because I've only been thinking about this. It's usually when I'm falling asleep and I'm like, you know what? That'd be kind of cool to have like like somebody's voice to like kind of maybe, yeah, soothe me through these lonely bits, or like these lonely times, because like I said several times, it's like I'm not one to just have anybody in my space. I'm not one to just invite anybody just so I can have somebody soothe my fears, once every few weeks is not enough for me to like have them in my space, I guess. So it'd be for those people who, like, I guess similar to me, where it's like you don't necessarily want somebody around all the time if you're single, or even not single, I don't know. But if you just want some encouragement, or some soft soothing words to fall asleep or to feel better. One of my like, I think, and also like if you're having a panic attack, like those are not fun, and I feel like that'd be a valuable thing, like I could do for someone, is like talk them through a panic attack, or you find my video on panic attack, and you just like put your headphones in and just kind of listen and hope that I can help you out, like, because that's one thing I hang my hat on, is like I take pride in like people, like I like to be there for people who, I've talked my fair share of people through some panic attacks, and it's like I don't know, I don't know if I'm any better at it than anybody else, but it just, I get a sense of pride, like knowing that I can help somebody in that way. And like I know a big part of that, at least for me, is like being able to hold the person, but like maybe I can hold them with my voice, maybe I can, speak in a way that kind of brings you back and gets you through. I don't know. These are just late night thoughts. These are just midnight thoughts. Absolutely. You did. You're brave. You're so brave. That chair crack freaks me out. Ugh. Now, if anybody doesn't know what that is, back in, I don't remember if it was middle school or elementary, we were way too young, and you would sit in a chair in a certain way, and I don't remember the dynamics of it. I don't know if someone held the chair while you were in it and like tilted you in a way where you cracked it, or like they held your back over the spine of the chair. I don't remember how it went, because I never like participated in it myself, so I'm not sure, but I just remember you go and then you hear a crack, and then that's it. No, I never did, and I probably never will. It's just not something I need. I don't need that. That's one experience I'm fine without having, I'm okay with not having that happen to me. Um, that's wild that we did that though. It's wild that like it's wild. But everyone I knew made it through, so I guess it's alright. Um, all right, y'all. I think I think it's almost midnight here, and I got to eat some. Oh man, I didn't even get into that. I made some pork last night. But what I did, I marinated the pork for like 2 days, but I used way too many habaneros. Like I think for some reason I was gonna use one habanero, but like at the store I picked up I think 3 or 4, and I was like, for some reason when I was, because I got them all together to roast them the night before, and I was like, you know what, I'll roast all the habaneros, so I just have roasted habaneros, and I was gonna freeze them, right? But then something got lost in my brain through the translation, and I ended up putting them all in the blender. And before I even realized it, it wasn't until I like put the spoon in to taste it after I blended them up, and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh, I messed up. And it was after I spent like an hour roasting the onions and the garlic and the peppers, and I didn't have any more peppers left. I didn't have any more onions. Like I used all my supplies, right? And I didn't want to have to go to the store. And so what I ended up doing was like I used some coconut milk and just tried to water it down. But I don't think you can water down 4 habaneros with the seeds. Like it was just one of them things. I ate the pork last night, and I love spicy food, but the overpowering, the habaneros are just too overpowering in that. It's just too much of the one spice. You know, I like the complex. Like I love the heat, but like hit me in different places, right? You know, I can do some like watery eyes and sniffy nose, like, but this was just like way too tongue forward for me. It was just way too like one track with that habanero. So that's what I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try with I even tried to muddle it down with some avocado, and it didn't help. So today I got some. I'm gonna try to put them in tacos, and I'm gonna use some cheese. Maybe that'll balance it out. Maybe I'll use some more avocado and some like, and I got some Doritos. I got was it mango Dorito or orange naranja? So maybe all these combinations together will like at least make me, because I was not enjoying it yesterday. And it was like the flavor is on point. The flavor is like, I got the potatoes roasted up well, like they're nice and soft, and the pork is tender and fall apart, and like the sauce itself is good until you get that spice, and then it's just like it's too much. It's too much. Lay back or twist left or right. That's right. That's right. Nope. Even that motion right there just made me like, nope. Nope. Moral of the story for today: my bones are where my bones are at. Even if I can't see them, even if I've never seen my bones, I trust that they're there, and they're not. I don't want them moving. I don't want them moving. No. They're taking up residence here. They've signed the lease. You know, they don't care about getting the deposit back. They've made a home. They've nestled in their spots. They're not moving. They don't need to venture out to the coast. They don't need to see sights. They don't need to go overseas. They're just here. Just right where they were placed. You know, and I was born premature, so they were placed even before they should have been. So right, they're just locked in. They are where they were before they were supposed to be there. I think that's just where they're gonna be. So, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go make these tacos real quick, and hope the spice doesn't kill me. Yeah, this is fun. We're gonna let me digest the thought of anime night. A great idea. I just need to make that practical and figure out when's a good time and where it might set up and how to set it all up. But when we do it, I'll let everybody know ahead of time so that we can make that happen. And then as far as my next stream, I'm gonna guess tomorrow. I really want to finish Jane Eyre, so I'll probably read most of tomorrow. And I'm finishing this K-drama tonight, but then I'm gonna start the Attorney one, so maybe I'll get heavy into that. So I doubt tomorrow or Monday I'll stream. But Tuesday night, let's say about, I want to say 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 or 9 p.m. Eastern. So whatever that is for you, Tuesday night, I think we're going to do another music stream. And I think that's going to probably be a Tuesday kind of thing, because that's such a relaxing time for me. That's such a wind down session for me that I didn't even know I needed until we were doing this. Like, it just, something about setting aside that time on a Tuesday night, which I usually don't have anything going Tuesday night. So it's like something about making that a point to listen to like some of my favorite songs at the moment, or put me in a good headspace. Like, I want to really keep doing that. So even though they're gonna get flagged and I'm gonna get blocked, and you know the VOD, it's gonna get disappeared. It's gonna disappear. For anyone who comes live, you know, you'll be able to kind of vibe out with me and at least for a few hours, just, you know, listen to some of the tunes and request some tunes that you want to listen to. So let's plan on like a soft plan for Tuesday evening stream. We'll do some music. So come prepared with any like requests or suggestions. We'll probably do what we did last week and just do a free for all kind of thing where we just listen to whatever feels like the vibe for that night. I can't remember his username, but he recommended Sufjan Stevens song that like really was a vibe. It felt like fall. What was his name? Dang, I can't remember. It was a cool username too. Maybe they'll come back next time. But anyways, that song's real good. But just like that, like I love picking up new music. Like that's so much fun. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna get some tacos and finish this K-drama. So I hope you had fun tonight. That was fun. It was good to see you guys. Marisol and Sandy, thanks for coming in, chatting and kind of reinvigorating the evening for me. And yeah, glad for anybody who showed up and spent some time or even listens to this. And any of you lurkers out there who just like stop by and just watch but don't say, like, that's perfect. I love it. You know, everybody's welcome, you know. And anybody who catches these after they go on the into the podcast file, I'm glad you're here too. You make this all just as worth it. So hopefully this is something that you enjoy and something that brings you some semblance of comfort. So I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go eat and try not to think too much about my skeletal system. Because if I really start thinking about how I've never seen my bones, it starts freaking me out. It's like, yeah, we have x-rays, but like, how do we know? Right? It's like, how do we know? Like, I'm just going to take the word of these magnetic pulses that this is what it is inside me. Like my internal chemistry, my internal like playground, that's what it looks like. Like, I'm going to take you at your word. Any time we have to hold like some kind of sheet up to a light to see what it really is, like I can I put all my faith in that? Like that's the situation right there, and then that's how me looks. Like, I mean, we can't even get that thing like printed out on a sheet. Like, it's got to be up to a, you know, it's got to be on that, like, anytime it's on film, like how accurate it. I don't know. I don't know. Midnight thoughts. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Hope you're having amazing Saturday evenings. Hope you're able to get cozy tonight. Hope maybe it's storming where you're at and it's a safe storm where it's just rain or like some thunder in the distance. And if you're like me and you like that for the cozy vibes, man, hopefully that happens. But yeah. I'll see you guys hopefully Tuesday evening for some music. But sleep well, y'all. Glad you came. Glad to see all y'all. Until next time, stay cozy.